What's good? TGIF. What's up, everybody? What's good, family? Hey, man. I'm sorry, bro. I thought I was going to be able to chew these things up. I thought I was going to be able to chew them up before the damn thing went off, man. My bad. But it's Friday. And I got some gummies in me. What up? What it do, baby? Zoe will be on in a few minutes. You know, he like to make that grand entry. So, in the who, man, y'all hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Y'all know what time it is, man. Yours truly, Ken Clark. We appreciate you for tuning in, as always, to the JSU Live Sports Chat. And, we in here, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get that. My glands busting. Got the prime hydration. We ready, baby. We ready. Action-packed show tonight, as always. Hey, man, let me tell you something, Royal. Hey, this that blue magic, baby. It's blue magic. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what we do, man. We come together. This the Blue Magic crew. We talk about Jackson State. You remember that? You know that dude be going, you know how that dude go, Memphis. Hey, we go Jackson State, JSU. They can't get enough of it. I know you're looking. Oh, baby, I know you're looking. You know how I know they're looking? Because they be talking about what we be saying up in this thing, man. I don't know. I must struck a nerve with some folks, man. I don't know, man. But I appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody that look in, everybody that come in and pay attention to what we do. We don't mean no harm. We just do what we do. We just talk about JSU. That's what we're here for. JSU got a lot to talk about. If you can talk about JSU, why can't we talk about JSU? We are JSU. It's a little bit hit a little different when, you know what I'm saying, when it's the home team. You feel what I'm saying? So we just here to support black colleges, but we only think about one black college, and it's JSU. I'm just saying, I gotta, you know, I don't understand. See, I put this, see this right here? It says stupidity is not a handicap. Park elsewhere. See, stupidity is when people show up to this platform thinking that they're going to get something else other than that blue and white juice, man. No. You can't get nothing else over here, baby. We might mention some of that other stuff in relation to it, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, we're going to do what we do, man. Y'all know how we get down. Y'all know what it is. TD, what's up, baby?
Hey. How you doing, bro?
Hey, man, what that flag say behind you, dog?
Man, that's the schedule, bro.
No, I said the flag.
Oh, JSU, baby.
That's all. I just wanted to make sure. I was making sure it was right. That's all. I wanted to make sure you had it. Make sure you was on. You know what I'm saying? You was on code.
Yes, sir. Gotta be, man. Nothing else allowed to be here. You know, letting this. You know, we're gonna talk about my Broncos or nothing like that. Lakers. We're gonna talk about that yet. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm doing as best could be. Life's good. Even when they throw you lemons, you got to be able to grab them things, squeeze them out of them, and make some good lemonade, man. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. What's up with the I Love family? Everybody in here.
Yeah, man.
I feel pretty good, man.
Huh?
Feel pretty good. I was a little drained yesterday, man. I was doing that no meat thing all week. I just ate that little salmon that I had out there was gone, man. When I
you said you was eating no meat.
Yeah, after I finished that salmon off, I didn't have just fruits, vegetables, nuts, and then just outside cutting grass and stuff, man. I tried to go to the gym.
Woo. Just didn't have it, huh?
Nah, I went today though.
All good, man. Well, you know what, man? It's man, look at this thing tripping like it don't want. Oh, you gonna come up in here? I'm trying to add my little slides, man. We got some stuff we'll delve into as we get ready to go throughout the show. But come on now, come on, upload. Don't be tripping with me like that. But appreciate everybody, man. Appreciate everybody who all the support, all the donations, and we ask that you keep them coming, man. We need the support. I put out a tweet, man. I threw something in the atmosphere today, Toronto. I got to tell y'all, family, I got to talk to y'all, man. Your boy been, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing that double dutch, man. I've been, you know what I'm saying? And what I'm talking about is, you know, deciding on whether I take that big leap and jump on off the porch, or do I stay on over here? You know what I'm saying? What I do, you know what I mean? And I know what to do. But it takes time, man. It takes a little time. I got to be real with you, though, bro. I put that in the atmosphere this morning, Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a one-on-one with the lady that calls herself my boss. I'm gonna just be real with you, dog. When I got done, I said, "Yeah, I'm good on this, bro. I can't do it no more, bro. The thing is, man, I just feel like y'all ever. Let me ask y'all a question, man. Y'all ever felt like y'all, you the divert? See, this is the thing people got to understand. That's why we say support Black colleges. Shout out to the, to my G who made this shirt or whatever. Let me tell you something, bro. When you see, people think this affirmative action stuff, man, is just getting into Harvard. It's not, right? We deal with that stuff all the time, man, where we have diversity and inclusion. And we also showed how, you know what I'm saying? You also show you daggone right, Timona. Ain't nothing like coming to a chat and being in a safe space. Hey, they can be in here. We don't mind them sitting in here. Just as long as they don't get out of line. They get out of line, we gonna zap that zit. And I actually like the fact that people run out of here and go tell people, you say something over there, Ken gonna block you. I love that. That's free advertisement. I want you to go tell folks. Spread the word, baby. Spread the word. You get out of line up in here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dog, I listen to me, man. I do the centipede with it. Pow. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you call it, the whatchamacallit, bro.
Right.
I'm gonna get them on up out of here. But no. I ain't gotta keep saying that, man. It ain't. I wish, honestly, bro, I wish I didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? I wish I really didn't have to do that because I was reading something, Dr. Boyce Watkins.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was talking about how 86% of all Black businesses fail, not because really they're not good businesses, TD. Right. You know why they fail? It's because for the most part, our people spend time trying to destroy our own stuff. And I'm telling y'all, like, y'all can't tell me that it ain't been somewhat destructive out here in the worm, I don't know, the snake, whatever y'all want, you know what I'm saying? The
centipede, man. That's the pop.
You see, I still got a little something, but no. But no, man, it's like Joe say this all the time, bro. Like, Black people devalue Black things. We have some, and Brother C. Lee always talk about. It's not only is it racism, you know what I'm saying, but it's also Negro ineptitude. You know what I'm saying? Black business theory. That's right, Hezekiah. What's up, brother? And I'm just saying, like, we have to protect. We have to protect our brands. We have to protect our culture. We have to protect our environment. More specifically, you have to protect your peace, especially being an African American trying to go into business and entrepreneurship, because you have to be careful where you share your ideas at, bro. Because if you can get in a company of small-minded people, small thought people who do nothing more than strive to be in a space where they just work a good job, and ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But some people just have a different calling on their life and they have to go for it. And some people have been on that wave and been gone long down the road and having success with it, right? Merch Pack in the building, man. I'm excited to work with this brother right here. We ready to, as soon as I get them samples, they'll be there Monday. I've been going to the post office every day looking for them samples because I do have to test the shirts. I just want y'all to know, man, we're going to be KC-1400 Media. We're going to be entering a partnership with Merch Pack. We're going to get our KC-1400 merch. As soon as but I have to test the shirts because, brother and I had a great conversation and y'all know that quality got to be grade A, man. So once we get that quality, we talking 5 different colors, short sleeves, t-shirts, long sleeve tees, hoodies, beanies, bucket hats. We're going to start with 20 items, bro. We're going to do navy. We're going to do white. We're going to do red. We're going to do gray. We're going to do black. T-shirt, long sleeve tee, hoodies. We're going to have a logo on there, and we're going to have statement tees available as we create those statements. We're going to design them up. We'll put that, we'll share it. Once we share it, all the website would absolutely be attached to the YouTube page. We're finna take it to the next level, man, because there's certain things that I needed to check the box on before I jumped off the porch, bro. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes,
and but I'm just saying to you that it's just with this. I was talking about man, what was we talking about? What do you call it? Affirmative action stuff, man. Where these companies start putting these barriers in place where they had to like do this. It's almost like they forced to meet these diversity quotas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now that all of that stuff has kind of been moved out of the way, it feels like they now feel like, okay, what's good, KT Dub? I need that. Hey, I need you, bro. I hollered at Doc today. We got to get rolling, baby. We got to get rolling, baby. I need you.
Oh, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Dub? What's up, KT Dub in the building, man? But no, but now it's like, ain't nothing like a joker's just looking at you, feeling like, you know what, you need this job. I'm gonna dangle this over your head. You know what I'm saying? And I used to sell like workplace ethics and compliance, like training, bro. I used to sell, and when I was in Austin, I used to work for a tech company. We used to sell that stuff, man. So I know, it. When you know the literature, you can, and I've also been a manager for years. So I've been in situations where like, city managers and area managers like, well, we need to manage them out of the system. And then you find yourself being in a space where you feel you see them trying to manage you out, but they know your stuff, so they got to cross all their T's and dot all their I's, and they give you bogus metrics to hit that dadgum well. They know dadgum well. It's gonna be impossible for you to hit it. All in the line to try to like get that documentation right, so they can try to push you out the door. And I actually said this today. I said, I know what you're doing. I said that.
Right.
I know what you're doing.
Right.
And I know what you're doing. But I said, but this is what you fail to realize. I'm not going to give you the time of day or the pleasure to walk me out the door. I'm going to bow out before you get to me.
Been there.
You see what I mean? I mean that. So it is what it is. I got,
It's a couple of things that you were saying, definitely for supporting Black businesses. I'm all for that 100%, but I'm also for supporting business who's going to appreciate my dollar.
Woo, you said something then.
So, and what I mean by that is, just because you're Black and you offer me terrible service, you tell me you're going to be here at 9 and it's 10:15, then you're not answering your phone. You get here around noon, and then you want to take a lunch. I'm like, bro, I tell you what, why don't I just pay you what I owe you, and let me go ahead and get somebody that's gonna get the job done. I don't have time. I took time off work, and I did. So
that's what I've been doing, David. That's exactly what I've been doing. I'm going to cut you out, TD. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't mind patronizing your business or supporting. However, I'm gonna need that service back because I'm not gonna stay with you just because.
Let me say this though. I don't care what business is out there. If you're selling products or service, if you're selling any type of anything, businesses are sustained by the people that need the services and items and goods that they provide. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Use a company like Target, for example. Target it's not going to be successful if everybody starts buying from Amazon. And they say, you know what? We're not going in stores anymore. We're just going to shop on Amazon. We're going to order offline. And a lot of companies have had to change their mind. I'll give you a store right now that went completely out of business.
Mm-hmm.
Toys R Us.
Yes.
Why did Toys R Us go out of business? Because people changed the way they changed their shopping habits. People start ordering stuff offline. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just telling you, like, that's how it works. So my point is this. You need the people. You need people to patronize your product and support what you're doing in droves. So I said that to say this. There you go, brother. People do business with people. People are in the people business. That's really what it's about.
It don't matter to me.
So here's what I say. We have created a space for our people. This platform, we're giving this platform over to our people. So I challenge and charge our folks that love and support JSU, make sure we're good. Make sure we're successful. You follow what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in turn, you're going to get back what you need. And here's what you know. You know for a fact you're going to get in. There you go. They took the words out of my mouth. You're going to get integrity, right? You're going to get authenticity. You're going to get raw and real, uncut. You get what I'm talking about? And you know you ain't going to get no, you ain't no fugazi stuff over here, man. You ain't going to get no scammer. Right. Now, you know, this is why people don't even understand, TD. We've had this conversation multiple times offline. Mm-hmm. How many times have we talked about the reason why, you know, I chose to build a team instead of going at this thing solo? You get what I'm talking about? Right. There's a reason. We and you talked about that going to Birmingham, bro. Right. Because listen, at the end of the day, we can easily take things, and this is not for anyone to try to understand or try to, like, you know what I'm saying, duplicate what I'm doing. You do whatever you do. Carve your own lane, right? But what we're talking about, people, product, profitability, that's exactly right. We know exactly what that is. So my point is like, you go ahead and we're building something, man, that's way bigger than just, you know, YouTube. You follow what I'm saying? YouTube is a great platform that brings the family together for us to sit here and have dialogue 3 times a week, right? And I just I appreciate that. And you pay for that. You pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to have to try to reinvent the wheel. People already have you go into the space where people have their habits where they are. But we already know that we talked about something that was very critical on Wednesday, and I stand by that. The rules are different for Jackson State in this HBCU space. It does not matter if you don't like what I say. That is the truth. And there's so much data to prove. Y'all know it, they know it, and everybody knows it. The rules are different. And this is what we're saying. We're not complaining about it. Listen, TD, that very fact gave us our occasion. It gave us our arena. It gave us our playground to play in. You see what I'm saying? That's why this is what I'm saying. You cannot get mad when people change the rules for one entity and everybody takes shots and it becomes profitable for everybody. Not profitable. I'm saying Jackson State becomes this, because this is what people are going to do. There he go crying and complaining again. They don't want nobody to talk about Jackson State. I never said that. Did y'all hear me say we don't want anybody to talk about Jackson State? That is not what we said. We said, feel free, do what you do, whether it's hate, whether it's congratulate, whatever you do what you do. But what we're saying is, because we can see the landscape and the arena that we're playing in, why can't we go over here and say, you know what? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go over here into this corner by ourselves, and we're going to turn our backs, and we're just going to focus on us. Now, you're more than welcome to come over here and see what we're doing. But if you come over here making noise, we're going to exit you out of our little corner, out of our little silo. And that's all that is.
Hey, Ken, yes, sir, I want to go back to another point that you was making. Then I want to elaborate on what you're saying now. The first thing I want to say is, when you're talking about your situation with your job, I've been in that position, and I almost walked away, but I didn't want to give that person the satisfaction.
Shit, they finna get the satisfaction from me.
Hold on.
I'm only saying that, but I know that actually they won't, because I won't leave TD until I'm supposed to. Let me just say it that way. Go ahead.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. When it's time,
I know.
When it's time for you to leave, you can leave, but I won't let it be on that person's time.
That's all I was saying.
Exactly.
What I was saying is this is what I know. Our year ends in the end of January. I already know if I'm here when we get to the end of January, it's going to be a knockdown drag out. I also know that I'm never going to do anything that gives you the power to push me out.
Exactly.
Because the level I'm at, I didn't do anything wrong. And if you do something wrong, I know my rights. I'm gonna go to you know what I'm saying? There's things in place. So you have to, because of the level I'm at, you have to do certain things to move me out of the door.
Right.
I'm not gonna go back and forth, with someone making me seem like I'm being dishonest about something, but they won't say that I'm lying. They're going to say all this other stuff. Like, can I see this? Like, show me the proof. I was like, well, are you saying that it wasn't done?
It's on your tip. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, are you saying that I didn't do it? I said, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not showing that. I gave you the report you asked for. The information is there. I'm not going any further than that. I'm not going to go above and beyond to prove to you. I just want you to tell me that I'm lying so I can document it and play the game that you playing better than what you playing.
Right.
So this is where we at, bro. We at a tug of it's I'm telling you, man, it's a constant back and forth. But here's what I will say. If they do push me out, I'm good.
Right. I mean, and like I say,
I'm just saying, like if they do, and I don't even care if they looking. I'm saying I'm in my own time. I'm on my own in my own space. Nobody knows who I'm talking about. Nobody knows where I work and none of that good stuff. I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. And I'm not going to be subservient to a job like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. You do what you do and whatever. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm only saying that to say y'all already know what it is, what my heart is at and what I want to do. We're going to do this full time. We're going to take this thing to the next level. KC-1400 Media Group is not some fly-by-night, you know what I'm saying, organization that we're trying to put together and it's just some fad. No, we're going to take this thing to the next level. We're going to go all the way with it because the thing that's constant, that's been constant for a very long time, TD, media.
Right.
Media has been around forever, man. I ain't talking about journalists. I'm talking about people tuning in. Ever since there was a TV, people have been watching. People sitting in a certain place, being able to sit down and if you have a good product, if you are interesting and what you're talking about is in Jackson State has always been interesting. We have a unique fan base to where even if the outsiders stop looking, TD, and if only we looked, it's very profitable in the space that we're in. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to I'll pause right there and let you jump in.
Well, as far as you were saying about people, you know, saying stuff about Jackson State.
Which we don't mind.
Right. I put myself in that situation. I do everything I can to make sure that I do things right and don't offend people. Now, if you get offended because I'm not talking to you or because I choose to have more of a conversation with Ken, you know what I'm saying, rather than Fred, I mean, that's you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't have a problem with that. That's something that you got to deal with. But what you got to say about me, I'm not gonna trip on it, man. Because people gonna talk. You know, they talked about Jesus, so I mean, I ain't no different. So you say what you say.
Guess who I saw today? I watched a video of on Facebook about saying I'm talking about that very thing. Coach Prime. He was in his Colorado gear. He was at a press conference. He was like, "Man, you think I care about what somebody had to say about me?" He was like, "Man, I got my own opinion of myself." He even gave advice, man. I don't care. And that dude really don't care what you got to say. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, I'm just saying, like, people don't like confident African-American people that don't allow themselves to be subservient to others. It's a very intimidating disposition. And everybody knows what I'm talking about. You get what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Hey, I like that. I had to figure out. It said she hates thee. I just was like, that threw me out for a minute, bro, with the name. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, God, I'm like, is this a troll? That you see how it got my attention? I'm like, wait a minute, what's happening?
Yeah, I was reading that too.
But I like what you're saying, though. I appreciate that. And listen, I don't feel bad about saying this. What Coach Prime say? We coming, and that ain't a shot at him. He was saying they coming because he was like, we here now. We in the big, they're in the Pac-12, which is just straight I'm talking about, bro, did the Pac-12 not evaporate this week? Holy smokes. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to wait on Zoe because me and Zoe been talking about that all day. Like, holy, I'm telling y'all right now, I ain't going to steal his thunder, but I know what he want to talk about. And I'm telling y'all, the time is now. Black colleges, black HBCUs, Time is now. Time is now. Y'all better start reading the room and look around and see what's happening. What is happening? A Power 5 conference dissipated in thin air in a matter of days. Woo! How, TD? Bro, the Pac-12 is officially Stanford, Oregon State, Washington State, and Cal. Dog, I'm talking about just like that. Bam, 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 gone. Oregon, Washington, gone to the Big Ten. Arizona State, and Utah, gone to the Big 12. Boom, just like that. I'm just telling you, that's a listen. We threw something out there a long time ago. HBCU Super Conference. Everybody move up as a collective in the FBS ranks. See if we can't get some partnership some kind of way, get some type of TV deal. I understand. And see, we think we got to have everything first. But see, this is a part of this conversation, TD. We talking about leaping. You see what I'm talking about? We thinking about jumping to that next level. See, there's some folks that sit, you know, because it depends on where you at. Where we at now in time, and I see that as clear as day, even with myself. See, this ain't a Red Sea situation, dog. This ain't a Red Sea situation where you waiting on a man to hold up a rod in the sea spread, and then you walk. This is a Jordan River situation where you got to start walking first. You got to put your foot in that water, and then it's going to spread. You got to start moving, knowing that when I walk, that's called faith. When I walk,
without it,
it's going to open. And that's the thing. I'm sitting here like, man, I see it as clear as day, and the writing's on the wall for me. I'm just telling y'all, I'm just waiting to listen, I'm trying to get this merch popping. You get what I'm saying? We're trying to push this nonprofit. Hey, listen, man, we appreciate the support. You guys came through in a major way for the nonprofit. For those that are new, hey, listen, we have a nonprofit, Friends of KC-1400 Inc. It's a tax-deductible organization, 501c3. The mission of Friends of KC-1400 Inc. is to provide strategic financial support to Jack State students through collaborative initiatives that stabilize and enhance the viability of all students, not just student athletes, but all students. And we're doing some big things, man. We're doing some huge things. Go to Givelify, Give Lifey, GIVELIFY, and get active with us, man. Donate. You know what I'm saying? I had a couple of folks. Hey, TD, let me tell you how dope this was today. I had a couple of our supporters actually reach out to me and actually designated the nonprofit to that company for company match purposes, man. So I really appreciate everybody that has wanted to get in with and support this movement, man. We're trying to do some big things, not trying to do some big things. We are doing some big things. We're in the baby stages of it, and it's only going to get greater and greater and greater and greater. And I ain't waiting, brother. I ain't waiting, TD. I ain't waiting for nobody to come along and say, okay, now you got what you need, and you go ahead and move and you leave. Like I said, how I got to where I am right now, God gave me that job, brother. It was in my heart to relocate to California. For those that know me, they know why I wanted to be here. But I don't want to disrespect the blessing that was given to me, right? So I said, God, I you know what? I don't want to take for granted what you gave me, but, you know, also put another desire in my heart that I just can't shake. Just last time you put a desire in my heart, you fulfilled it. When I got to move it. You see what I'm saying? But see, now I can't shake it, brother. I can't shake it.
And one thing I would say, hey,
hey, Brother James, it wouldn't be everybody. It absolutely wouldn't be everybody, but we absolutely can look into the SWAC and the MEAC and find a good 8 teams that could jump up and make an FBS conference. Oh, yes, we can. But that's another conversation we're gonna hold for a little later today, and keep going. Absolutely, Miss May Orn, that is absolutely the case. We got to get in the act. We got to start having these conversations now, man. We have to start having. This moves, this Power 3. Shout out to my brother Shaq. Shaq said this a year or so ago, 2 years ago, when we first started talking about Coach Prime. He said they finna dissipate. There goes Zoe right here, right on time. Showed up right on time.
What's up, family?
What up, Zoe?
What's up, man? I'm over here yapping. We're gonna come back to that because we already done kind of touched a little bit on that. We ain't touched on it, but we was talking about Shaka Perkins. Shaka. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you, Miss Perkins. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you for becoming a member. Not sure what level you are, but we appreciate the support. All right, TD, you had something you finna say, and then I'm gonna let Zoe have his opening. Go ahead, brother.
Right. Yeah, I just want to finish up on okay. Yeah, I was about to say on that last thing about haters and stuff like that, man. You know, one thing with that, I just say, well, I hate that you don't support us or don't like us or whatever. I said, well, no more power to you. I mean, I don't have no ill wheels or feeling towards you because everybody's not gonna like you. You think so? But you know, it's a disrespect to come with it, I guess, to make people have attitude. But other than that, man, I don't worry about all that. And then with the Giblify thing, for those of you who some great things are being done with that. Ken mentioned it. What was it, Monday?
Monday, what we wound up doing was some students needed. We got active with a few students, not student athletes, but we got active with some students. I'm gonna leave that alone. You got to go back to that show to watch what we were talking about. Nothing specific, but we were able to, let's just say it this way, we were able to apply our mission and actually get active with an initiative we were able to take care of. And but keep going, brother.
Yes. So no, I mean that's all I had for that, man. Just know this is not a fly by night thing, and it's not something just doing throwing caution to the wind and just talking about it. It's actually really being done. And those in the platinum chat in different places are very aware of what's going on. And I support. I'm glad to support. And I will continue to support.
Appreciate you. No doubt, brother.
What up, Zoe?
Zoe, you got the floor is yours, baby.
What's up, y'all? Look, I mentioned this earlier, man, and I kind of talked about this a little bit last week, but today in particular is a day of demarcation in the world of college football.
Yeah.
This day will go down in infamy. I know, some of us are talking about it, but a lot of us aren't. And we're at a crossroads right now because we can't sit here and stand pat and do anything. And I know what I'm about to say. Some people may say, well, there's so many unknowns and we need to wait. But the problem with that thought process is we're going down uncharted territory. So to stand pat and think when you're going to wait when the dust settles, excuse me, honestly, there really won't be any dust to settle. You see everything that's transpiring before your very eyes. And that is, it's time. And some people may say this would be the dead horse, but no, with new information come new decisions, right? And again, what happened today is a day where I can't see how any AD or any title with any type of executive decision making can stand pat, know what happened today, and think, well, my God, what's going to happen within the next 2 to 3 years, even on our level? Not even just talking about HBCUs, but just FCS in general, because today was a day of consolidation.
Yep.
I know we like to sit there and say, this movement with leaving one conference going to the next. What happened today has never been done before, ever. And you're talking about losing 6 teams in 1 week from a Power 5 conference at that. So there are no more Power 5 conferences. That's over and done with. And there's more to come. And so you ask yourself, excuse me, when you talk about, well, where does that leave HBCUs? And what do we do from here? Do we stand pat? Because bear in mind, this is the very reason why I've always said that HBCUs are basically FBS programs and FCS clothing. Whenever I made that comment, it had nothing to do with the product on the field. That statement goes to the way that we operate and what we do on a day-to-day, and what it is that our goals are as an athletic department, as in intercollegiate athletics. And that is, as an FCS conference, what's the difference between the SWAC and the MEAC? and the Sun Belt, or the MAC, or the I'm not going to say the American Mountain West Conference, and right now the Pac-12. You know what I'm saying?
The Pac-4.
The Pac-4. I'm sorry. What's the difference between what we're doing right now and what they're doing? Absolutely nothing. The only difference is 22 scholarships. Our Southern Miss right now, our goals are their goals. So what I say all that to say this: right now, more than any other time, is the time to have an FBS HBCU conference. Yeah. Right now, more than ever. I'm not sitting here saying we'll merge the SWAC and the MEAC. Hey, if that's a thought process, then by all means, then do that. But if we can't, there needs to be legit conversation with
Nook.
There needs to be legit conversation between schools within each conference to actually have the conversation, real tangible conversations, because something has to be done, and at least has to have a plan. Because the one thing I can say for the most part, not just the SWAC and the MEAC, but really any conference on the FCS level, there is no forward thinking, because everything that we've done has been reactionary, right? And so we need visionaries. I'm not saying that things have to be radical, but we haven't done anything with the future in mind between these conferences. Matter of fact, what the SWAC is doing, or the MEAC for that matter, is the same thing that the Pac-12 was doing.
Look at that question, though. Keep going, though.
Okay.
And save some meat, because we're gonna touch on it.
But I'm gonna address that.
Yeah.
You're thinking solely about the product on the field. You don't have to move up to have the product on the field. So I tell you what, the MAC conference, right? So you want HBCU have to win. What is the MAC conference doing right now? What are they doing? I got time.
I got a better question for you.
Put the answer in the comment. Put the answer in the comment. What is the MAC doing? The Mid-American Conference.
I got a question. How many folks actually know who all in the MAC?
That's another question. After you answer my question, answer his. You're thinking small when you use that. The product on the field is not the end all be all to why you move and why you do things.
Right,
yes,
right.
But we're talking about forming a conference. You're thinking about somebody has to win, somebody to do. No, bro. We need an FBS conference. Because watch this. The MAC, the Mid-American Conference, as it stands right now, they're actually playing in their own silo right now. The same thing what we're currently doing. That's why I'm telling you, we're an FBS program, conference in FCS clothing. We play in our own silo as it is, but the difference between them and us is we have a niche. We have our own niche right now.
So hold
on. Who wins head-to-head does not matter. That does not matter. You're thinking about if you got a SWAC team, and that conversation has no relevance on what I'm talking about right now. And just hold your question, TD. Hold your question.
I got you.
So, right now, and I really wish Ken would put this information up. We actually did a show back on what happened in 1996 where you had 7 members. That was Jackson State, Southern, Grambling, FAMU, all met and came together in 1996 with the actual threat and conversation because we did not want a reduction in scholarships from the NCAA.
We did a whole show on Tiger Talk.
We as a unit went to the NCAA convention and told them that if you reduce our scholarships, we will move up to Division 1A. We were 1AA at the time. There was no FBS and FCS. It was 1A and 1AA. We said, hey, we are going to, if you reduce the scholarship, we're going to move to Division 1A. So think about that. That's the only threat that we had. The NCAA said that, nah, we'll rather have you stay in 1AA, so we are not going to reduce your scholarships. I want you to marinate on that. And also, when those 4 schools came together, Tennessee State, South Carolina State, and North Carolina A&T were in conversation as well and paying attention, stating that if they make this move, we're going to hitch our wagon to them and make that move with them at the same time. So even today, as I speak to you, if you had a 7-team conference, and I'll even make it fun for shits and giggles to sit here and say, you know what, Add Alabama State to that conversation, and even probably North Carolina Central as well. That's a 9-team conference, a 9-team HBCU conference. In doing so, you have the best of both worlds. Also, in doing so, the very thing that they're shunning the Pac-12 on doing today by having a streaming-only deal that's going to pay them tons of money, but not enough comparison like the SEC, that's tailor-made for this new HBCU FCS conference. Because last time I checked, any HBCU program, imagine in that same conference if every team had a deal set up where each member institution was getting about 20 to 25 million every year. Now, imagine what they could do from a facility standpoint. And that's just with one particular deal. See, the thing is, the majority of people who want to be naysayers about it, number one, they lack vision. Number two, black people devalue black things. So anything with any upward movement, we gravitate for why it can't happen, as opposed to thinking about a solution or ways to make it happen.
Yeah, this is not a to Zoe's point. He said two things that I think we need to hone in on. Number one, he said this today is something that what we've seen ain't never happened in history before. Never. So we're already witnessing history. So something is happening. And listen, those schools had agreements in place, contracts in place, deals in place, and they all met at the table, did whatever they needed to do to get out of them, and they making those moves. So in order to do what we're talking about, we're gonna have to get outside of the realm of our thought process and actually get creative and figuring out what exactly it looks like. At least have the conversations. Start mulling, hey, listen, what we need to do to make this happen, and then start having conversations with the right entities to actually see if we can secure some type of funding. We talk about, I was telling him, we talk about Byron Allen and Tyler Perry, trying to buy BET, spending boatloads of dollars. So the question is, can we find a partner? Obviously, if you don't do nothing, the answer is no. But what we're talking about is just sitting and staying pat, saying we're not going to do nothing. We're just going to sit back and watch the college football world change around us and not try to do anything. It would be almost a death nail to us.
And the main problem with this is that the moment you say FBS, most of the small-minded thinkers, their mind gravitates and goes to the other end of the spectrum. No one says that when we move FBS that we have to be Ole Miss or Mississippi State. We don't have to be. But I tell you what, the moment this FBS HBCU conference is announced, on that day that it's announced, it has already surpassed the MAC conference. It will have already surpassed Conference USA. I'm going to give you an example. A good portion of the players that all of our schools lose that actually come here or transfer in, when they leave, why do they leave? They're not leaving for visibility. They're leaving because of a perception of, I'll use the player from FAMU, Kamari Stevens. Jumped in the portal, came back, and then he left and went to Jacksonville State. Now, for all y'all that's looking, now watch this. Jacksonville State. Now watch this. Jacksonville State Stadium is literally about the same size as FAMU Stadium.
That's where you went?
Hold on. Jacksonville State doesn't play on TV more than FAMU does. And he only went there because they're FBS. So if FAMU was FBS, you could pretty much estimate that he wouldn't have even left to begin with, because I'm FBS. And being that it's an HBCU conference, you literally get the best of both worlds, because you're going to have all these traditional games that we all love and enjoy. But then now, instead of being a sacrificial lamb to play a money game, now you can actually have a FAMU versus Florida International or Florida Atlantic at home. You can have a Southern versus ULL on the Bluff. You can have a Jackson State versus Southern Miss game at the Vet. You can have Jackson State versus Louisiana Tech at the Vet.
To your point, though, Zoe, the point that we're saying is that the HBCU culture, we see intelligence out is exposed on the web of how many of our HBCU alums feel like we're not doing enough, or we're selling ourselves short, and we're not capitalizing on the brands that Jack State is hot right now. We got all 11 games on national TV this year. So the point that we're making is not that we would absolutely need just black millionaires to come bail us out and save us. I don't think that's going to happen. We got to tap into white money, because black folks we still have to deal with that element where we're not really ready to come to what do you say?
No, nothing. Go ahead.
You already zapped somebody? All right, cool.
Oh, dude, go ahead. Right.
No. I was trying to. I'm good, bro. I don't get distracted by that. Hell, I want to do it. I have fun doing it. That's what I'm trying to see what you're doing. It's like Galaxy. Like, what do you call it? Galactica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I ain't worried about that. We love when they show their head. But anyway, but that's the main thing. It's really just figuring out a way. Listen, people always trip me out when they say that can't be done. You can't tell us that, because did we not raise money, dog? We're doing a crowd surfing fundraiser initiative through a YouTube channel. Like, we got 640 some people watching YouTube right now, looking at us, looking at our face when they're. So I'm telling you, like, there's so many firsts. There's so much history that's befallen us, and I just think I like what you said, bro. We can't just stand pat and wait on things to just fall in our lap. You know what I'm saying?
But this question I had, I had it for Zoe, but either one of you guys answered. For those who's not abreast on, the moves and stuff of the conference, do you need a certain amount of money? Do you need a certain amount of students? Do you need a certain facility?
No, facilities are irrelevant, because you can actually change facilities as they go. Money, yeah, you're gonna need money to move up. But number of students, no.
Okay.
The only thing you have all the requirements that you used to have back in the day, they're null and void. The stadium size does not matter anymore. Your attendance does not matter anymore. The only thing you have to do is pay a fee to actually move up. However, now there is a bylaw that no FCS or 1AA schools as a whole can move up and make a conference. However, because we love to say what can and can't be done, we could actually try to get a waiver or put or try to adopt new language in to get this done. Again, just because people could tell you, "Oh, I hadn't seen it," or I doubt if that could happen, that still don't equate that it can't get done. All right?
Yeah.
Because guess what? We're in strange times, dog. And rules are changed every day. Every day. The same way I just told you about the stadium and the attendance. Guess when all that got relieved? Literally about a month or two ago. So for all the people that say what we can't do and what we can't afford, everybody can say what you can't do until you do it.
Okay.
There is always a pathway to something.
Yeah, we would. The thing is that TD, whatever that looks like.
Hold on, before you go, we offer the number of sports.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is this, like, whatever it is, every school is not in the same exact space. Some would need more, some would need, you know what I mean? Like, exactly. You take the best of the bunch and you go and you try to make it happen. You see what I'm saying? You go and try to make it happen, bro. And it's like, you really just need, go ahead.
Right there, Ken. Look at that. Let me answer that question for you.
Oh yeah. We can go.
When they created Division I and Division I AA, you do know that all FCS programs are Division I. So the reason why the subgenre was created was for the very thing that they're doing today. They separated everything solely in football and football alone, because they wanted anonymity. I said it wrong. They wanted total anonymity.
Autonomy.
Come on. Go ahead.
Autonomy. I'm gonna come back to that in a minute.
Oh, they wanted autonomy. That's what it was called.
But they wanted what they're doing now.
Yep.
They were trying to create a wedge because to prevent other schools from actually building up to become powers. The same, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. kind of in line with the same reason why they didn't want to play HBCUs back in the 50s and 60s. I'm gonna go and see
it. Yeah, Whitney.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's why they separated. We could play on level with them in everything but football. And mind you, what is the cash cow for every college?
Football is the cash cow. They all know it. We're already Division I in every other sport. It's just when it comes to football, we have these subdivisions, and they moved us to 1AA. You know what I mean? Opposed to, Power 5 level. But the time is now for us to at least have a conversation. We got to figure out what we're gonna do, or you just sit back and do nothing and get pushed right into oblivion. We're already in. I mean, we do still have the HBCU culture, but for those that somebody asked a question like, what if a conference come and try to grab 4 HBCUs? It's like, will they do that though? You know what I mean? Or will they stay?
No.
I don't think they will, because I don't think they want to delve into that space. But I feel like you do it as a collective because you uphold each other. Now you can preserve. So when you have that mandated schedule, TD, your mandated schedule, you just play each other and you pick up other HBCUs. I mean, not HBCU, you pick up other FBS opponents, which would be an even bigger payout. You get what I'm saying? So there's some teams that can absolutely do it if that was the case. But
so for an example, because I know people may want to bring up the example of FAMU. Do you know the real reason why FAMU failed? Partially because of the reason school failed. Because they moved up as an independent. They were bleeding money. Alabama State talked about moving up, but because of what the financial cost would be, they chose not to. And when I mean financial costs, it's not that they couldn't afford to be there. They were bleeding money because they're independent. If FAMU, when they moved up, moved into a conference, they would still be FBS right now. If FAMU had got invited to a conference when they moved up, they would still be an FBS school right now.
Yeah, they doing some big time things. Really, this conference and TV money is the thing that's really doing it. Like, even what people fail to realize is one of the things that we talked about when we actually had this conversation. And so when you and Chad was talking about it, hell, UCLA, and they was operating in the red, bro. They was in the hole. So this move to the Big Ten automatically takes them out of the hole, TD. I'm talking about they were in the red. You hear what I'm saying? And going to the Big Ten is huge for them because they got that $1 billion TV deal. Now that money,
And look, and when
money gonna come and pull them out, and with the potential to also, damn, they said Florida State, Clemson, UNC leaving the ACC. Yeah, they all gonna be out of there. They all gonna be in the Big Ten. Watch,
and
Big Ten gonna be 20 teams.
They're all not on the same level playing field. Because, for an example, you look at old Mississippi State budget. Their budget is the money that they get back from the conference. But you look at Florida and Alabama's budget, it supersedes that.
Man, when you look at
Mississippi State budget is the money they get back from the SEC.
That is a fact.
Florida and Alabama and LSU isn't. Their budget supersedes that. So again, I say to you, you have an FBS conference. And we know we're not going to get SEC money, but we don't have to. Do you know what each Sunbelt school got paid out this year? About $8 million. Each Sunbelt school got about $8 million. So if they're getting that, so just imagine this HBCU HBCU FBS conference. Just imagine we get a streaming deal. We hook up. We can do these other avenues that y'all claim that y'all don't want to see. What if in this conference every school had the ability to get about $12 to $13 million? Now what does that do? Now what does that do when you talk about?
These schools don't want to see HBCUs move into an FBS level, man. TD.
Who don't?
These PWIs, especially these lower tier PWIs that can't. Like, this is the question I ask you. Let's use the young man. We're not talking about him. But let's use him as an example. You think if FAMU is let's use FAMU. If FAMU is an FBS school tomorrow, there is no way I don't believe in any shape, form, or fashion a player is going to leave FAMU to go to Jacksonville. Now, I'm just using it as an example because it happened. And I'm telling you, I want the smoke. Jacksonville State ain't more appealing than FAMU. I'm sorry, it's not.
It's not.
And I'm gonna give you another one. And I know I'm finna step on some toes, and I know I'm finna hurt some feelings. Boy, oh boy, they better hope with all things holy that Jackson State does not become an FBS school. Because I'm telling you right now, Jackson State gonna jump some FBS schools in the state.
Southern Miss
Immediately. Southern Miss is immediately number 4. Immediately number 4. I know. I ain't trying to. Hey, all you US.
No. Hold on. We're gonna talk about logistics. TV market, Hattiesburg, Jackson.
Come on, dog.
That's right there. Fan base, Southern Miss, Jackson State. The culture of the game itself, Southern Miss, Jackson State. The moment we become an FBS program, it's a nail in USM's coffin.
Okay, Ken, you said something as though what you just said, but what about Ken? What about those people, JSU people, black people that written in tradition and culture who don't want to move?
Why wouldn't they? First of all, they don't need to be in the room no way.
With all due respect, we don't care what they don't want.
No. Okay, what I'm saying, they say
no. To a lot of folks, TD, this is why you got to hear the whole thing. And not saying that you don't hear the whole thing. We're talking about an HBCU FBS conference, not one HBCU moving into an PWI space. We're talking about moving up as a collective. You still, if you played around with it, I'm just saying, even if you take, just hypothetically speaking, you take 6 teams from the SWAC, you take Central, SC State. I'm just using this as an example.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you got Hampton, you know that you got A&T out there, but let's just say hypothetically speaking, do you not realize that the SWAC has 5 HBCU Blue Bloods in its conference right now? 4 of them, I'm sorry. Tennessee State not in the conference. But you got Tennessee State and Tuskegee not a SWAC school. You got 4 of them in the conference. You grab Tennessee State, right? That makes it 5. You grab a North Carolina Central. You grab an A&T. You see what I'm saying? You grab an Alabama State. I'm just saying hypothetically. You're going to play 7 games that's all HBCU opponents anyway.
Right. I get
so the other 5 games, you're talking about them $1.3 million payouts now. Now you talk now your budget is a little different. You see what I'm saying? How it can go. I'm not choosing the schools. I'm just saying, I didn't want to mention every school. The point I'm making is if we can do 10 or 12 schools, then by all means, we would love to. Because 10 teams mean we can play 9 HBCUs. So we still playing our schools. We still got the rivalry, still got the culture preserved. And we getting money, baby. You see what I'm saying? We getting money. And guess what else we can do, TD? If we get money, we can also play other HBCUs and circulate that money that way. Where you put it's so many different scenarios, but the thing that I ain't gonna really entertain a whole lot of is because I don't want to listen to the naysayers and like, oh, did da. Like, okay, then that's a non-conversation. Just say it can't happen, it won't happen, there's no way for it to happen, so I don't entertain. I said, all right, cool, then we don't have to talk. But the point that Zoe is making is that there's some things changing around us that we ain't never seen before, and it is going to create you're talking about a great Gulf fixed as if it already wasn't. Boy, it is. They done went to Mars, and we on Earth right now, based off what just transpired and what you about to see. You got Big Ten swelling up, and then don't forget, you got UT and you got Oklahoma going to the SEC next year. Now you got Colorado, Arizona State, and Utah joining the Big 12 after they lose Oklahoma and Texas. Mm-hmm. So you got some big time programs. Utah won the Pac-12 the past 2 years. Deion Sanders is going to the Big 12 if he's still coaching. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just telling you, the Big Ten is just swole. It's busting from the seams, but look at what they did. The Big Ten just added 2 other additional West Coast teams. So now you best to believe that USC is going to play Washington, Oregon, and UCLA. All 4 of the West Coast teams, 3 of them games is going to be from the opponents on their side to save on travel. You see what I'm saying? Right. So why wouldn't that be the same for us if we moved up and created our own thing? The problem is, somebody said, he said, USM. It ain't about the money. It ain't about the money.
But I do want to say this: if any kind of way, any of these ADs at this
Florida State to the SEC. Oh man!
If any of these ADs can hear my voice, if any of the commissioner from the MEAC and McClellan, y'all need to be doing some talking right now. Y'all need to be on the phone. Y'all need to be doing. Y'all. I'm telling you, don't get caught slipping. Y'all need to get active.
Man,
I'm gonna hit up AD Robinson. Every AD in this way, y'all need to get to talking.
Hey, this is a good point that Charles just mentioned. He said he's waiting to see what Notre Dame gonna do. Notre Dame can stay independent because they just signed the largest Under Armour. They just signed the biggest apparel deal in the history of college football, and they re-up with NBC, so they can still operate independently and be just fine.
All they Notre Dame have to do is do what they did to ACC or create alliance where they play a guaranteed number of games in a particular conference and keep their.
Probably gonna be the Big Ten because they play in the Big Ten, I think. Or is it the ACC?
The ACC right now.
ACC, yeah, the ACC.
And all they do is guarantee. They play a guaranteed 6 ACC games a year.
But TD, to your point though, progressive thinking is always an adversary to dinosaurs, bro. And that's no disrespect to anybody, but people don't like change.
Hold on, Mario. Ken. Mario asked this: will the fans support it? You know what? They can support just like they do right now. They can support it.
Again, you have to hear the whole thing. You have to hear the whole thing. We're talking about if we were going to move, we move up collectively. So if you're playing,
we're going to play those teams. He's saying our fans are going to support. They can support the same way they do now.
I think we will change our mindset, and we will. I think we will. Some
more than others, right? But
yeah, I think we will. I think Jackson State is going to show up to San Marcos. If we was in the Sun Belt and had to go to San Marcos, we won to San Marcos.
Now watch this, watch this. Have you looked at Southern Miss numbers lately? Do you see what they do? Let me tell you about Kennesaw State and their 8,000 seat stadium. You want to go take a look at their numbers? So we got to get out of this thing like, well, our fans are going to this game. Hell, our fans ain't going to every game at every HBCU as it is now. We're looking for one-offs. Well, when we move up, Southern Miss games ain't packed.
Show the heck ain't. They pack when JSU show up, though.
But they pack when they play your ass. But the games ain't packed. We got to stop this stuff where we looking for well, our fans go to their game. They don't go to every game now as it is. Kim, if Jackson State regular season game, go play Prairie View at home. It's not the home opener. It's not homecoming. If Prairie View don't have a good record, Ken, is that game going to drop 40,000? Let's cut the crap. Let's cut it. Can we still do about 14,000, 15,000 for that game? Yeah, we can. Is every school going to do that that's in the HBCU? No. So what are we talking about?
Plus winning change things.
Huh?
Plus winning change things.
It don't matter. It don't matter if we're winning. The point I'm getting at is that we're talking about attendance. Like we might get 5,000 people for that game. I'm sure that could happen. They doing that at Southern Miss right now.
Hey man, we showed up to ULM. We showed up to Southern Miss. We showing up to Texas State. We coming.
Hey man, go pull up ULM attendance. I'm just saying.
Hey, this is the point. Thank you, Blue. This is all we're saying. We're not saying. Listen, he said, "I'll never say anything is impossible. But conversations and plans need move in motion now." That's all we're saying. If you're gonna do it, this is the time. This is what we're saying.
The point I'm getting at is that it's too much happening right now to stand pat and don't do nothing, not have the conversation, not get the ball rolling and say, okay, if we can do anything, what should we do and what course of action should we take? That needs to be happening right now.
Now, I will say this though, Zoe. To this point from Jay Shaw, HBCU culture is still going to be strong.
That's my point.
It's still going to be strong. It don't make no difference. We have a niche. So whether we do stay, and listen, all we're saying is you have to kick the tires on it and entertain some type of an idea to even see. We can't just sit back and be like, all right, it is what it is. It's all good. But listen, hey, this is a long conversation that's going to be going on and on and on as things tend to develop for quite some time, man. I got a couple of preliminaries we want to get through.
All ADs in the SWAC, man.
Worst case scenario, you get a plan ready. This is what I'm saying. Even if you don't move, then you have a plan for a later date, have a blueprint ready to go. Do you know how many times I put together plans? I've had certain strategies and things that I never really activated.
Right.
It just was like, hey, we ready to roll if we need to.
A generator.
Do you know how many people that almost got butt whoopings because Joker was like, hey, just stand pat. We ready to fire off if shit pop off. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Look at Avis. Yes, indeed, man. He said, Prime insisted we didn't show up. I wondered for weeks what it. No, you gotta understand, man. Like Prime had a different mindset. He wanted.
Oh, he was saying in comparison to what we do at home.
Yeah, no doubt. And he wasn't wrong. Like challenging the mindset of us getting out of this classic mentality. I only have a select few games that I go to. Trying to change the mindset of those, because I mean, you look at these bases in some of these PWI programs. You know. Anyway, Jeremiah, y'all chill out, bro. I'm watching everything that's in the chat. Y'all just man. If y'all gonna be in the chat, let's keep it harmonious, man. I mean that. I'm aware of everything, so just let's keep it kosher, baby. Keep it moving. Stoney, what's up, dog? I have family and friends that have been starving for a JSU versus Southern. We are the draw. 2025, baby. Tell them we coming to the bird. Hattiesburg. We're gonna take over Hattiesburg, man, and we winning too. We telling y'all we coming to win this time. We ain't coming to get kicked in the teeth like we did last time. What we lose? 47.
We came to win in 87. I was there. We kicking their tail.
Should have won that game. But anyway, I got a couple of preliminaries, man. Then we'll get back to that. Again, nonprofit is available. Y'all go to Givelify if you want to donate to the nonprofit. If you want to donate to the platform, you can use the super chat. You can use the ticker at the bottom. We take Zelle, PayPal, Cash App. But if you want that tax deduction, go ahead and hit that Friends of KC-1400 Inc. Man, we really trying to. We got a $25,000 slush fund, emergency fund goal. We trying to hit. We just got started on Wednesday, so if you want to contribute to that, and we'll go from there. Moving right along. Huge shout out to our brother, Isaiah Bolden, man. He balling over there at the Patriots practice right now. Said a player who has been performing well. Shout out to Nugget who popped up in the chat. Hey, Nugget, we already had this thing queued up. You know we're going to talk about Zay, player who has been performing well at the Patriots training camp that rarely anyone is discussing is rookie cornerback Isaiah Bolden. The former Jackson State product saw outside starter reps today alongside fellow rookie Christian Gonzalez. Bolden has shown many promising flashes throughout camp and has really caught my eye. I love this for Zay. We all knew that Zay could play. He had a great NFLPA Collegiate Bowl weekend, and he just exudes confidence, man. And big cornerback, got 4.3 speed. 4.2, let him tell it. You know, he can hit. He got them burners. I can't wait to see him play on next Thursday, and see if he can't get in that kick return game. So we can see him.
Man, you know he's like the fourth or fifth fastest player on Madden.
That's dope. That's dope, dog. That's dope, man. Well, Zay, we definitely proud of you, man. Shout out to PGS Nest for the tweet today, man. Moving right along. Next slide up. Coach Justin Thomas, welcome back to Jackson State. JSU baseball pitching coach. Y'all do know we got our camp this weekend, the showcase camp. So hopefully we have a great turnout for that, and we'll proceed accordingly to that. Now listen, damn, 95 overall on speed. I'm gonna play with them just for the heck of it. He gonna start and everything. I might even move him to running back.
Hey, remember what we said about him going to New England. Bill Belichick is known for playing those late round draft picks and making that team now.
They definitely do. But I'll say this though, I put this truck up here for a reason. I wanted to talk about this, y'all, because I know a tweet came out, and we ain't gonna revisit that too long. But I saw shout out to KLLM. I want to put this up there. And we want to shout out Coach Prime too, because we all knew this because Coach Prime made a phone call. He reached out to Governor Phil Bryant. See, Coach Prime. See. Hey, listen, Brett Favre got that welfare money for that facility down there at Hattiesburg. At least we got a truck out the deal. We should have got us a little something.
Shaka, you good, bro?
No, you good, man. Y'all good, man. Y'all be cool, man. Keep it cool, man. Hey, Deputy Mario, I ain't worried about our fans. We can change all that. You waste too much time worried about them fans. Half our fans ain't never happy. But anyway, when Deion Sanders became coach, Jack State 2020, he reached out to former Governor Phil Bryant, who turned in a call to Richards on July 27th. For the second year in a row, KLLM gifted Jack State a $250,000 Peterbilt tractor trailer. The next slide is what I wanted to hone in, though. This is a 100% donation to Jackson State, Richards said. The university does not pay for anything. They don't owe anything. We buy them a brand new tractor every year. We can't take care. He said we take care of everything: gas, insurance, maintenance, and we provide a driver. All the school has to do is tell us when and what time to show up, and they there. So for those who like, oh man, we got a truck, you ain't gonna tell me that not having no expenses, no costs, and the truck can be utilized when, where we feel like it, however, and the company takes care of that is absolutely dope, man. So I love that, man. When I saw that, I wanted to definitely talk about that. Y'all got anything y'all want to throw in on that?
Nah, man, self-explanatory.
Right. Hey, we appreciate
it. Appreciate you, player.
Right.
Make sure y'all get them.
Bear in mind that quote applies to Ole Miss and Mississippi State as well.
Absolutely.
So, I know a lot of us get to say, oh, because we love to talk about ownership.
See, brother, you said nice tax write-off for them. See, this is what we're trying to get folks to understand. We got a nonprofit now, so when you donate, you can go straight to Givelify, friends of KC-1400 Inc., a nice tax write-off for you. That's the game. That's the game that they in right there. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Make sure y'all go ahead and get your tickets, man.
Bro, Story, I don't know. King, who is wearing number 13 right now? Story, I don't even know, dog.
13?
Yeah, who's 13 right now? I don't even know.
Wearing number 13.
Is it Brandon?
No, Brandon's wearing 10. Narik Sharp is wearing 12. Ooh.
Anyway, so get up.
Man, I don't know who wearing 13 right now. The wide receiver, Johnson. No, it's not Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson wearing number 10 right now.
Okay.
Is it Brandon Johnson?
He said Johnson, right?
You know what? Johnson's supposed to be wearing it. He had 10 on it. I think he does. I think Brandon Johnson is going to be wearing 13.
Brandon Johnson.
Yeah, I thought it was Brandon. Yeah.
No, he hasn't worn it at practice though. He was wearing number 10. That's why I said
he wore 13 during the spring. He was wearing 13
through the spring. Okay, there we go. No, not a running back. Absolutely, Ken.
What's going on?
Yeah. Y'all gotta chill, man.
That's you talking about Zeke. Zeke is 36.
Yeah, Zeke wore number 36.
Right.
Again, if anyone interested, still pushing membership, Blue Bengal Association, push membership, Tiger Talk, not Tiger Talk, but the 1400 Club, push membership, Tiger Fund, whatever's out there. But Blue Bengal, you can go to www.jsubaa.org to become a member. Membership is growing. Tiffany, if you're out there, get us an update. Let us know where we at. I ain't text you today. I ain't want to bug you. Again, we talked about all our games being on TV, but this is the point, Zoe. We're already at a point where we have a brand that's interesting. ESPN picking those games up. But I'm telling you, if we should be able to, if we have the right conversations, I think there's a market for an HBCU FBS conference. But there's a lot of work that would have to be done in order for that to happen, but never say never. August 5th, that's tomorrow. We do have a scrimmage tomorrow, 7:30 in the morning, man. So we'll definitely get a report on that and try to talk about that on Monday. But Isaiah Kendall is wearing number 10. family, trust me when I tell y'all. I was right. I'm with you. I'm with you. Oh wow, let's see what Blue said. The College Football Committee just announced they want to change the college football model. They are about to lock all the G5 programs. We just talked about that today, Dezo. That we just talked about that today. He just said that today we were talking. He said they finna make it absolutely impossible for any of these other teams to have a gateway or a way to the championship. They finna lock the thing out, and it's gonna be a big
because I told
Ken Jay Shaw, me and Zoe was talking about it on the phone today.
Let me tell you what I said today, because people hear what they're going to expand the playoff. That doesn't mean that they're going to include you. All thing they're going to do is create more at-large bids for these strong teams in this conference. I just told Kida today. You have to know, again, I promise y'all, if you go back and see the changes they were trying to make in 1996 when these HBCUs were talking about doing this, they're doing the same exact thing right now.
Yep.
And they did this when they had that convention at that point in time. When they left that convention, that's when they created the BCS. If y'all remember the BCS.
That's exactly right. I hated the BCS.
When they left that convention that year, they created the BCS.
Yep.
I'm telling you, they've been trying to create autonomy for years.
For years. All the way back to what?
It's not nothing new. So I'm telling y'all. So again, when we talk about the term FBS, right? Because see, the NCAA controls all the sports. They don't control football. The schools do. Remember that. The schools control football. So the thing now is, why, if I'm a recruit, what is going to entice me about going to Eastern Michigan? And this is not a shot at them. I'm just saying, what's going to entice me to go to Eastern Michigan? For me to go to
this is interesting. They're a G5 and FCS merger soon. Wow. Some of these G5 programs want a shot at a national championship along with a bowl game system. Hey, we might as well go lean all the way into it.
So again, with all this traction going on, how in the hell anybody in any leadership position is not on the phone right now saying we need to get our wheels turning? We need to do something. I'm not saying we got to announce we're jumping tomorrow, but you got to have a plan in place. You got to do something. You cannot just sit here and stand pat, because I'm telling you, shit rolls downhill.
So do.
And if they're locking out Group of 5 school, what the hell you think they're going to do to FCS programs? And then you got to think about the money. So even when they talk about this NIL stuff, when they talk about legislation, they're not talking about us in these Group of 5 schools. They're only talking about how they're going to put a salary cap in. That's what they mean when they say NIL legislation. We're trying to create a salary cap to where in these 3 conferences, we're going to have an agreement on exactly what we're going to pay across the board.
This is why we were telling y'all we need to jump. Because what they about to do is they about to basically push D1. It ain't going to be no D1. They can't push us out of D1, but from a football standpoint, they finna make basically FCS is going to be the equivalent of D1, D2.
Trying to tell you.
Kind of like that realign high school sports all the time.
Yep.
Because they're going to have it.
And they're going to be 7A.
Because what NIL legislation is, they're going to have it where we're going to have a salary cap, and we're just going to, it's classism. We're going to
exactly right.
We're going to price
you out. Y'all, this is the crazy thing about it, y'all. We actually been talking. Shaq, where the hell you at? Shaq, we talked about this, bro. How many? About 2 years ago. No, 2 years ago, because this is when Deion first came.
Yeah,
it's like 2020 when we had that conversation about Sam Bam Cunningham and Bear Bryant recruiting black players to Alabama, and they got their butt whooped by USC. We were having a lot of conversation, and the majority of what we talked about didn't hit the airwaves in Tiger Talk. But I'm gonna pause because the matriarch has arrived with her red lipstick on. Hey, what's going on?
So,
hey everybody, hey Zoe.
What's going on?
I'm learning from you, so finish talking, Zoe.
I'm gonna say, so bear in mind, when they do get this legislation, I'm just throwing an example out there. They're gonna have it where probably every player on the team.
The hell is that?
I don't know where that came from.
Go ahead. You good?
they're going to probably have it where every player on the roster is probably going to have about $75,000 to $100,000.
Hey.
Once they put that in place, that's going to be the death knell of Group of Five in FCS program.
But see, Zoe, this is the other point that we talked about that people got to remember. See, one of the points that Zoe and I remember we had that conversation. You remember the Pittsburgh roster. The next thing we got to also look for is unlimited scholarships, man, because that was something that they also tried to do back in the day. Where remember they
had that back in the 70s.
In 72, I think it was. Wasn't the championship team had about 100?
That's when it. Because they had super teams then.
Super teams. That's right.
The roster was loaded with like about 175 players. So that's when they came with a scholarship limit. And that's when they had it where it had to be 85 scholarships. And then when they brought in 1AA.
Fred, not necessarily. Not necessarily. They just don't want them. They can make it, but they have to make it within the space that they've created.
Right. I was just going to.
It has to stay within that space because it affects them. And I'm telling you now, like, just it's going to be hard for us to get players.
I'm going to say something real controversial, but it's true. Race ain't got nothing to do with what they're doing right now at all. not regard when we talk about NIL legislation.
The race matters. There's a color that matters, and this is green.
Right. Money.
This is a money move. You understand what I'm saying? But this is what's I listen, we've had this conversation, man, and we really have. We've been talking about it, and we're seeing it come to pass. And I'm telling you, you got to goddamn get in the game right now, man. This is the now is the time. And
but y'all know who did that? Who made a good move? That
who that
kind of paid off for him in Cincinnati. Now a lot of people felt like they shouldn't have been in that championship game, against Alabama, but hey, they were there. No, they went from USA conference a few years ago. Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati.
PD, do you know we don't compare it to Cincinnati? Do you know?
No, I'm saying as far as moving conference teams.
Yeah, but Cincinnati gonna be Power 5.
Now this is without question, Teddy. We do need to learn how to organize.
That's
without fact. That's without that goes without saying. I think that's the thing that really
gotta work together.
Well, it ain't even true. Like that's why we're not a threat.
Exactly.
Because the thing that they're willing to do, this is what they're willing to do.
I'm not saying that race doesn't matter. I'm saying race is not playing a factor when they're talking about the dollar amount that the kids are going to get paid.
Absolutely, race matters. I think we just don't have to. We already know that, bro, but we don't have to like slam the gavel on that. We're talking about
race does not play a point in what they're doing with NIL legislation. They're not going to make a difference between pay between a white player and a black player. It's going to be it's minor league football
across the board.
It's basically minor league football. They're going to have a salary cap across the board.
Now, the only thing I can say where race matters that all this just can't happen at HBCUs, but it can happen within all the other.
But HBCUs ain't a factor because we ain't gonna organize. If we got to be the ones that's leading the charge,
you're right.
They not banking on us. We ain't a threat.
So just to let you know what I understand what they're saying. This ain't got nothing to do with us. I mean,
well, this is
we did this
family. Please, y'all have to understand that when we're isolating one thought, we're not eradicating the other thing. Of course, race matters in the MAC, but what we're talking about in this particular subject, it's a money move. And yes, you know what? It's a money move to strengthen the big boys in the PWI ranks.
Correct.
We automatically know that, but I'm saying we don't. I think we know how to articulate down that space. So I don't want folks to get lost in the fact when he said that wasn't about race. We're talking about
a rabbit hole.
Can I just say one thing? I know now I'm tripping out what Zoe said about the cap, because remember what they were saying about what was the coach name from Alabama and how he was fussing about these because somebody or coaches don't want players making too much money. I can see why they can do a cap on it because they don't want, I don't care what color they are, they don't want them having that type of power with the type of money that they can have. So I see what you're saying. So it is let me tell y'all something. Anything dealing with other people's colors, it's always green first.
This is the only thought process that this is all based off of. The premise of everything that's being said is simply based off this one sentence. We need to position ourselves to be a part of this game. We've been talking about NIL collectives. Like, how many HBCUs have an NIL collective right now? And I'm telling you right now, we've been doing a lot of stuff. Zoe and I, y'all know what we've been trying to do and get active on. Just even the concept of NIL, trying to get our people to understand the importance of it to the point to where we want to literally invest in it is a tall order. Because it's something like we always want to see it. But by the time you see it,
it's too late.
You're gonna be in the dust. You understand what I'm saying? So,
like,
this is a good point. GA is on it. And not only are we tapped into pettiness, but GA, we're not a threat because we have not shown a collective effort of organization in years. As a people, we have not. And it started with the dissipation and the separatism that transpired amongst the Black family. When you start dividing the family, you get what I'm saying? Now you got man versus woman. I had to unfollow Joe today because Diana Taurasi scored her 10,000 point, and ESPN put out they put LeBron and oh man, this is about man and woman. It's like we can't even have a concept that you got to put a woman next to a man, and it's like, dog, both of the records was broken in this season and they was trying to pay homage. And I understand what you're trying to say, but we don't have to pander in that regards. My point is that, and this is two different races. I'm just saying, like, even in our community, we always looking to divide. We always looking. And so to my point, because somebody can say, well, you just said this is all about Jack State. It is. Because what I'm trying to get you to understand is we still operate within the space of the environment that we're a part of. So I'm coming. Give me a second. Let me get out what I'm saying. We still can create a safe space within the space that we already know. Why in the hell do we even have to create a safe space to begin with? Because we are so divided in a lot that's going on. You get what I'm saying? So I'll pause and let you go ahead and go.
No, I'm thinking about my therapy head is coming in, and wounded ears hear differently.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that,
wounded feet move slow.
No, but what I mean by that though, this is what I mean, Ken, seriously, like what you said went over a lot of people's head when you made the statement about us being so divisive from the start based on how we were treated from that point on. So when you made that statement, you're right. It's always us against us. We talked about it here on this channel. Is even for Jackson State, we have all these things doing all these separate things because we can't come together because we think.
Appreciate you, Shaka.
Because we think we just can't do it. You see what I'm saying? So if it's like that, even within, and we're doing great things, the homage of Jackson State, I can't even wrap my head around what it would be like for everybody in this way.
Hey, Israel, shoot me an email so I can send you a link to the Platinum chat. Appreciate you for the upgrade, big dog, or joining. Go ahead, Rochelle.
Lewis Tillman is out of town this weekend, Patrice. He's
at the Giants camp right now.
He's at the Giants camp. So I looked at that. I was like, no sense in me asking him that. But what I'm saying is that I believe because of the fear factor, again, and because of the mindset of so many of us as Black people, that we think it's a scarcity, Ken. And we have to address that. We think it's a scarcity, or we just don't believe we can do it. Where do you think that comes from? That is ingrained in us. And the only way we can change it is that we have to change the mindset. Because
Lynn, appreciate you, brother, for the donation. Appreciate y'all, man, for the support. Keep going. I'm listening.
It has been stated that if you don't deal with the trauma, and we have a trauma of scarcity within Black people, and we have a trauma of fear within Black people, each generation, it gets worse.
So you're right. But listen to this comment. JSU did lay the foundation for NIL, but they took it to another level with 501c3s to pay athletes, and they have OnlyFans girls for them, as well as supplying them with businesses and houses. How do you combat that? You get you a 501c3 and you pour into that 501c3 and you create a lane that keeps you relevant, keeps you in the conversation, that allows you to recruit those that They can't get everybody, but they're gonna get their fair share. You get what I'm saying? We just have to be the best of those that are willing to come our way, and we got to be very good and very efficient. Kobe, my guy, man, appreciate y'all, man, with the support. Appreciate the donations tonight, man. Keep them coming, bro. We love it. We love it. We love it. Y'all be sure to hit that Cash App, PayPal, Zelle, all that down at the bottom. We get 100% of that. Anything come through the super chat, we appreciate it. But YouTube gonna take their cut. Somebody who is the hell is that getting that?
I don't know what a bell. I think it's something else, King, because ain't none of us got a bell. Who got a bell?
That's me. I got a text. My daughter texts you.
That thing long, too.
Okay, this is really sure. But you know what?
Be lingering, boy.
The reason I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm thinking about what Zoe said. Like Zoe said, this is from the 70s.
Well, no, that's where it started. Like you got to go think about it. When our 4 Hall of Famers played when? 67, 73, 74, 75-ish that time. So the best of the best. Jackie Slater's son just talked about that. You know what I mean?
They were D2. When Hall of Fame played, they were Division 2.
That's what I'm saying.
So when we made the move to Division 1, it was a good number of us made the move to Division 1. When we moved to Division 1, we funded all the scholarships like everybody else. After that 1 year, that's when they said, oh, hell no, we're not going to have this. And they created the subgenre of 1AA. Yes, that's why. Because we want to separate them and us. Oh, we can be Division 1 in everything else. But in football, we're not going to have that. We're going to separate that.
Are y'all people understanding this?
Here's the Lawrence. Hey, this is what I will say. Oh damn, I need to change my battery. That thing lasts a good hour and a half. I'm gonna go off camera, y'all. Be right back.
So okay, so what you said, what makes it even worse is that, like, I was thinking about how y'all saying that we had that chance a long time ago to do this very thing that you talked about, and we're in 2023, and that's why I'm okay. For those who don't know, that's why I'm the therapist up in this joint. That's a mindset, Zoe. That's a fear factor mindset of scarcity. Like, we don't want to move. We are in the public service announcement to everybody listening. This is for your life. God is on the other side of your comfortability. Because it's uncomfortable, Zoe, and we don't know what's on the other side, we choose to stay comfortable in this where we at versus moving forward and forward thinking. And just like the stuff you're saying, you've been saying this for a minute. Why the powers that be haven't did? I'm talking this for other HBCUs because we're scared. And they don't want to acknowledge that they're scared. But if you're thinking in fear, you're not thinking in power. So this is a good step. Go ahead, brother.
I'm not gonna say it's fear, but there is some truth to that though. There is some fear for some institutions because we're not a monolith. Everybody doesn't have the same mindset. So yeah, you're right. There is some fear for some institutions, but on the other part, there's some comfort. There's some because in doing this, it's going to take real tangible work. Everybody don't want to put the work in.
Exactly.
So yeah, but to your point, there is some fear for some institutions because also everybody don't want to stay on that ledge and take a risk because if it fails, then where do I fall on that? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I mean, look at how the people that talk, they live in the land of let me give you the reason why it ain't gonna work.
Exactly. Fear.
So get me saying, I don't live in that. Don't tell me why something gonna happen. Won't you find some options for why it can?
Come on.
Time frame.
So here's the thing. I want to keep going, but we got a lot of folks in here. Now I am gonna I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Listen to me carefully. If you got a question, you got a comment, come on up, make your comment. I'm not gonna keep everybody on it, but do not hit that link if you ain't got no comment and you just want to sit up here. We're not doing that. Hold on.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I'm finna drop the link. So for those that do want to kind of chime in, if you want to come up and chop it up with us, that it can help the conversation go a little further and faster without having to read all these daggum comments.
Right.
We're not gonna add 10 people on the platform, but we do want if you got something to add to the conversation, then by all means come on up.
And why are you doing that? My question is, what would be the time frame before they shut everything down? Because I see Blue just made a comment earlier too about they saying that it's being watered down, so they're not letting in FC? What kind of time frame?
I mean, the time frame of saying, I mean, whenever it can be done. The thing is, don't stand pat and do nothing.
This absolutely we alluded to that, and this is the thing.
You sure did. You hear that, man?
We talked about this. We've been talking about this for months, like many have, and Zoe has been staying the course on it, because once we seen things kind of moving and shaking, he came back and he was like, "Bro, this is the time." And he called me. He was like, "We got to talk about this night," because he was passionate about it. Because this is the time. That's urgency. We're not talking about joining a conference. We're talking about creating one.
Blue's right. When they came out and they just put that fee up right there, they just did that. It hadn't even been a full month, I don't think. But but the purpose of that is to deter movement. That's the point. So he's telling the truth. But the thing is that you got to come up with something to do, because I'm telling y'all, if we just go on as business as usual and don't do nothing, what's going to happen to us in the next 2 to 3 years?
I just wanted to give a shout out to Shaka. She said, "This is one of the realest conversations I've heard on all these platforms. We have to change the narrative."
All we do is talk real over here. You know,
we have to support. I just wanted to read what she said. But I mean, what Shaka said, I think, but Zoe, just to let Jamal know, he didn't say this a couple of nights ago. I think, Zoe, you've been talking about this for months. I mean, the super conference, you've been
talking about this for years.
Yes, for years, y'all.
Conversation, man. I'm telling y'all. But this is the thing that has also been very long, Rochelle. The idea of it has been met with resistance. Y'all got to keep in mind, we was having this conversation when Deion Sanders was our coach. And no doubt. But I'm saying, like, it really gave us some legs when we so we had to reiterate it. And I was saying, hell, if he was our coach, then by all means, it would have made things a lot easier, because it would have been more attractive in my estimation. But even with him leaving now, it's like, okay, now the best thing is for us to go together, because had we went with him and he bounced, we would have kind of probably been in a tough spot. But now we go together.
You know what? I got to do this. I know we did it on the show, but maybe we didn't have it, because we got almost 700 people in here.
Make sure y'all hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. Go ahead, bro.
I said we got over 700 people in here. So you know what? I'm going to send this to you right now so they can actually see right now for themselves.
I love me some Zoe. That boy knows some.
It's the thing is, it's not just, there are some in-depth conversations, but you're talking about, this is the thing that we don't want to lose sight of. We're not talking about having a conversation in the space of trying to go into a room that already exists. There has to be some collaborative conversations being had from people in positions to make and affect change. But one of the things that we always trying to do is we're too busy trying to one up one another. And that thing does exist within the HBCU space.
Very much
so. It exists because it's HBCU pride, it's HBCU whatever. But the reality of the matter is now we're talking about doing something where we have to be able to accept an ideology that's outside of what we consider to be our norm. And it's going to require progressive thinkers. It's going to require a lot of getting naysayers, man. You get what I'm saying?
EA, you're right. But what if I told you that you have more HBCU players that do send their kids to HBCUs? You have way more that do send them than those that don't. The thing is, we tend to hold on to the outliers because this was more of a well-known player, and his son is a really, really good recruit, and his son went to another school. I'm not mad at that, because if that's the case, then we look at it like every single parent or every single person that went to an HBCU, then your kid has to go to an HBCU. And that's just not realistic, because I'm telling you, you have way more guys who played at HBCUs. Their kids did go to HBCUs, more so than you have guys that went and their kids didn't. I'm willing to bet you that. So we can't hang on the outliers, those one-offs. It's just that's one that you can gravitate to because it's visual. But I promise you got way more guys who played there that send their kids to HBCU. And the numbers show it.
So what I'm gonna do, bro? Zoe just sent me the article that we actually did a show on Tiger Talk. So what we'll do is I'm gonna add it back to the slides because I don't want to cover the whole.
Yeah, because y'all didn't see this, and this was in 1996.
94.
Wow.
94 and 95. Right.
Yeah, 94. Yep. Before ADs, it was W.C. Gordon, Walter Hobby.
That's crazy.
Marino Castle.
Yeah, Marino Castle, and it was Reed, wasn't it?
Yep, Walter Reed.
Walter Reed.
Yeah, I love me some Walter Reed. Wow.
Yeah, we did. I mean, but that's when we were mostly we were verbal.
Tyler, for me right now, a dream scenario, and I hadn't even thought about like the perfect number, but right now I would just say if we could just have, I would say 10 teams, just so you can do divisions, so that way you still can have a championship game, because on the FBS level you can play 12 teams, and so if you got a 10-team conference with an 8-game conference slate, you know, you still got 4 non-conference games, and that's 4 money makers you could get. But if I had to have a scenario, I'm taking Jackson State, Southern, Grambling, FAMU, Alabama State, and then I would actually probably have North Carolina A&T, Tennessee State, North Carolina Central, probably, just to give it more East Coast flavor, I would probably say South Carolina State, and then probably Howard.
So your brain is amazing to me. I'm going over here just going, you not playing up in here. You just not.
And the only reason why I say that, because it's a good mix. And that way, because I know some people like say, well, what about the travel? Y'all asses ain't going to travel all these games. No way. We look for complaints. But that way you still got a good mix of the East Division being the more MEAC schools, and throw Tennessee State in there. So it's a reduction of travel. You'll go to the West Side maybe 3 times. And the same thing on the West Side. It's pretty much the pro swag portion of it. And it's the same thing. But if you decide to go 12, then I'll add the Texas schools in there.
Let me see if I can add it. Them last 2, them small ones, bro, they gonna be tight. But I'll do.
Get the big one in there though. The photo.
I got the big ones already.
We ain't got to do all 4 of them, but they need to see it, because a good number of people in here don't even know this.
Yeah, because y'all wasn't following Tiger Talk. Y'all wasn't rocking with us like it should have been. All right, let me remove this old slide, and then I'm gonna
right the vision. You right, Hezekiah. We need to get into every these HBCUs.
So shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Aaron Thompson too, man, because Aaron, alum, he actually, when we were having a conversation on Tiger Talk, myself, Zoe, and Shaq about this, he sent the article after the first episode and was like, this will actually damn, come on, thing. It's tripping right now.
And so it just, I want y'all to visualize this. And just feel me. Let's just say it's next Saturday. Y'all are cutting your grass, women out shopping, whatever the case may be. ESPN breaking news. It's a HBCU FBS conference. Do you understand how that would be trending? And I'm telling you, on day one, every last one of you son of a gun. Oh my God, they doing it. They're gonna do this. You're gonna be all the naysayers. I promise you, you're gonna be thinking about the possibilities at that point. But then it's gonna be trending everywhere.
God damn, bro.
Everywhere. Telling you.
And they gonna be nervous.
Hey, so read Kim's message.
Who
actually makes the decisions to move? The ADs, presidents of HBCUs, are those folks talking to one another?
Well, from a school point, board of trustees, ADs, and presidents. They get together, they collude together, they get to talking, and then you come up with a plan or a pathway to make it happen. But to answer your question, it starts with the institutions themselves. Then you get another institution on the line, and they collude with themselves and come up with a thing and say, okay, hey, we're thinking about doing this, and then you research and see what you can and what you can't do. And I tell you what, for all the people who say, well, you can't do this, well, guess what? You think the Pac-12 would turn us down if we came up to the one to join right now?
Hey, this
That's the thing. A house divided cannot stand. We don't even want to stand.
Time to make a call, though.
Well, guess what? The house divided can't stand. That's why sometimes you got to move out the goddamn house into a sturdy one.
No, I'm agreeing with you. Can you imagine what we did together if we stood
There
together?
we go. There we go. Come on.
That would be insane.
All right, let's see. Come on. Let's see if I can get you up there now. Try to present this thing. Y'all bear with me. Zoe sent me something.
Yeah, Blue, the rigor mortis is set in. Dude, they talking about merging with the Mountain West, the remaining 4 schools.
They're gonna have to do something.
Hey, guess what? Now all of a sudden, Stanford and Cal don't have the same luster from an athletic standpoint.
Right. Because you know what? You are so. Why would I go to that school? Oh my God.
Oh no. I didn't say that now.
But no, what I'm saying for is sports.
Look, it's still Stanford and Cal now, but I'm just saying they don't hit the same.
Here we go, y'all. Hold tight.
Standpoint, do that.
There we go. This is the first page of this. This was the Clarion Ledger. So we did a show on this article, and it says 80s jump. So 80s back jump to 1A. Jackson State among those ready to go if the 1AA scholarships are cut. So from the left, you got Jackson State's W.C. Gordon, who the legendary W.C. Gordon, who became our athletic director. Southern's Marino Cassim, FAMU's Walter Reed, and Gramblin's Fred Hobdy. They were at the AA. This was at Jackson State. It was in Jackson. That's why it was on Clarion Ledger's newspaper. But the thing that makes this article so dope, there's a Q&A on here that's I can read it even though it's slightly. Let's see if we can. Let's go back. I'm gonna see if I can't present it this way. So let me go to the full screen real quick. See if I can that'll help. So let me try. I'm gonna drop this ticker real quick. So the first question, it says, what is the difference between the NCAA 1A and Division 1AA? The question was, it breaks that question down. Single A and AA are football classifications only. Division 1A schools have higher scholarship limits, larger coaching staffs, and various other characteristics that set them apart as big-time football schools. Division 1AA consists of schools running smaller, more affordable football programs. There is no 1A in other sports, and JSU competes in Division 1 in every other sport, which is what we've said numerous times. The next question: why would Jackson State want to move to Division 1A? To avoid further cuts in the football scholarships. Oh, you want to jump in that?
I'll get in that now. The next thing it says, why would it drop in football scholarships from 65 to 45 or 55 hurt JSU and everyone else in 1AA has the same limit? It says JSU doesn't feel it could have an attractive product and recruit top quality athletes with only 45 or 55 scholarships.
Right.
Would JSU be able to fund the Division 1A maximum of 85 football scholarships? The school funds 65 now. JSU Athletic Director W.C. Gordon said the school can fund 85 scholarships because it has as many as 95 scholarships before the limits were cut.
You got to explain that one.
When we first moved up to Division 1, we funded 95 scholarships the year before the NCAA decided to put roster limits and scholarship cuts. So we were funding 95 scholarships before they actually cut down to 85. Yes. And it said NCAA rules don't require 1A members to fund the maximum number of scholarships anyway. Question: what would this do to the Southwestern Athletic Conference? Would the SWAC consider adding teams so that it could continue as a football conference? The athletic directors will discuss the situation at the SWAC winter meetings, and adding teams is a possibility. At what point the SWAC included schools operating in different NCAA classifications. But I wanted to go back to the other portion of this. Hold on, let me go to one thing. I'm gonna cut it short. You can take this down, Ken. So here we go. I'm going to the next thing. I got it up. athletic directors from Jackson State and 3 other historically black schools.
This one here?
Thursday on the Jack State among those ready to go if 1AA scholarships are cut. And it said that but Jackson State's W.C. Gordon and colleagues from Florida A&M, Grambling, and Southern University stopped short of proposing a new conference. They met at JSU to discuss their options. Tennessee State, Howard, South Carolina State, and North Carolina A&T have also expressed interest in moving to 1A, but didn't have representatives at Thursday's meeting.
Right.
Reed said logistical problems, not a change of heart, caused the absences. Let me go down. Hold on one second. Let me see. Coach Gordon was just stating then that it was very feasible and attractive for us to go to 1A. We first want to keep 1AA as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
And they went on after the fact. This is when Reed said about he said if the scholarship cuts don't pass, those HBCUs will plan to stay in 1AA, at least for now, but will the cuts pass? In April of that year, 64 of 99 1AA schools responding to a survey favored a cut to 45 scholarships from the current 65.
Yep.
In the meeting earlier, a straw poll showed that it was a 70-30 split against the proposal, but a compromise cut to 55 drew support, and that worries Marino Castle and the rest of the Jackson 4. They're making their displeasure known the best way that they know how, by threatening to leave 1AA.
Right.
And they're saying that this thing has gotten the attention of America. We're hopeful that it will change enough minds. He said they threatened to jump to 1A is not a bluff to stop the scholarship cuts. Let it pass. Call me the day after the meeting, and then you'll see where these 4 people will be.
Dog, I wish we would have just jumped.
Now, bear in mind,
Wow.
now think about this. The only threat that they had was to move to Division 1A. So basically, the NCAA said, you know what? If they were like, think about it. They would be like, we don't care what y'all do. You're not going to be a threat. But they said, we don't want y'all to move up. So rather than have y'all move up, we just won't make any cuts to scholarships.
Facts.
Wow.
So it was a bargain. So this is all, listen, this is 1994, the leverage that we had then. Now I know it's a lot of money and a lot has changed since then, but we still underselling our value to the culture, to the college game. I'm telling you, we still got power, man. And that play would be an unbelievable power play if we decided that we was gonna come together and we was gonna form an FBS conference. That would be a monkey wrench that
one-time fee.
Cost time fee to move up, or is it just one time?
One-time fee. Go ahead, bro. I ain't making
I'm just saying, like
that's 29 years. That's a quarter of a century.
And the value is still there, because at the same time, it's a strategy. It's something that you create that sustains your culture. You stay within your culture. You create like a HBCU FBS silo where you play amongst yourself. You preserve and you delving in bread. You see what I'm saying? You playing in a different arena.
Yeah,
it's worth having a conversation, man. It's worth it.
You just proved my point. That's all the other the group of 5 conferences. They're just got put in their own silo.
Zach, hey, Blue, that's exactly right. The purpose of it. Now, this is the thing. We talked about that today. The only thing that would probably be a hiccup would be the Celebration Bowl, because we just re-up through 2026. I think it's 2026 that we re-up. And now you're talking about, because the Celebration Bowl is a SWAC MEAC. So you say, well, you don't have to lose the Celebration Bowl because you're not taking the SWAC up and you're not taking the MEAC up. It stay.
That's true. Oh my God, you're right.
You create a whole new conference.
Wow.
If it's, I don't know. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know everything that's required for that to happen, but we have to get out of this mindset of thinking that we don't need to do that. We don't need to look at that. We don't need to try that. How dare you try to oversell the black culture and the HBCU culture as to having value? You know what I mean? And that's just not the case.
You don't do not in this climate right here. After what they showed you today, you don't stand pat and do nothing.
Well, You saw a Power 5 conference just get dissipated and become a group of 5 in a matter of days.
Listen, we've seen conferences get created. We've seen the ending of conferences before. There used to be a Southwestern Conference before you had, and the Big 8 before you had the Big 12. That's what that was. The Southwestern Conference and the Big 8 merged together to create the Big 12. Used to be the Metro Conference. Used to be the Great Midwest. I remember all of those, but the different thing here is the Pac-12 is older than the SWAC. Oh, FYI, do y'all even know that the SWAC is one of the oldest conferences in all of college athletics?
Facts.
The Pac-12 is older than the SWAC, and it's no more.
Wow.
It's no more.
That just means all that means is this. All that old stuff. Y'all better get up. You better get up off that old stuff. You want that old thing back? That ain't coming back. It's gone. Trent, what's up, man? Got to get you up here tonight, baby. Talk about you had a big day.
Talk about that, dog.
Good segue, brother.
Hey, it's kind of like
man.
It's kind of like people fighting. It's kind of like what you're talking about, Kim. You say something is new. It's kind of like people trying to still make you write a check when everything else is digital. You gonna get left behind and lose out on.
I'm telling you, man. We operating on Microsoft DOS right now, and they in a MacBook with an M2 chip. they rocking and rolling. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you another reason why it's even more profitable. It make more sense for us to make this move anyway. We're no different than the Sun Belt the moment we move up anyway.
Immediately.
So we're not a threat. We know even with this move, you know you don't have a pathway to get to a championship, right? But outside the mythical HBCU National Championship, again, what are we playing for? Do you see what I'm saying? We play to win our conference and go to a bowl game, and you still can have that. Only thing you're doing is you're increasing your revenue potential and making this move.
That's facts. And then we talked about something today too, Zoe. What did we talk about? How it's intentional to hold us back. In the state of Mississippi, we have requested assistance from dorms with the state, and we get denied every single time. They denied us dorms. They denied us a water supply. How much money did they approve for Ole Miss for dorms, bro?
I think it was like 60 or 70 million. And we just got denied for this year, and Ole Miss just got approved for it, though.
So don't tell me that this ain't even a greater time for us to start thinking about how we can collaborate collectively to come together and make some things shake. The man, the myth, the legend. What's up, big dog?
None of the above.
I do. Hey, bro.
Hey, man.
How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. You did good. You and Brother Shabazz did some amazing work, man. And
I've been bragging on you all day today, man.
Celebrate you, man.
Well, look, thank y'all so much. It's rather historic. I promise I did not come in here to try to change the context of the conversation, so I'm not going to stay here long.
Anyway.
We needed to change it anyway. We gon' you know, it's free flowing over here. We in hour number 2 and battery number 2. We good. That's we good.
Congratulations.
Hey, look at Tanya. Look at Tanya. Smooth sounds with Trent Walker.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
Hey.
Got the block on today, huh?
But no, to that point though, you just actually is actually a good segue because we just talked about the state of Mississippi continuing to be the state of Mississippi and corruptingly supporting the white school and holding back the black school. And then you're talking about these systems that are in place where those that look like the gentlemen that you guys basically took down versus the gentlemen that look like us that had to deal with what they had to deal with and speak to it. I won't steal your thunder, but we did want to at least have you up for a few minutes to talk about it. Go ahead.
Well, again, thank you for having me up. Kind of not in my regular abode tonight, having some work done at the house, and therefore I'm in a hotel. Yeah. But having said that, we were, as of yesterday, and it was a surprise to me, and I've been in touch with the Department of Justice on a regular basis. And I was of the notion that these gentlemen were going to come in and be arraigned and enter not guilty pleas. And what I did not know was that the DOJ had already turned the screws on them, and that they had all agreed to come in to plead guilty to federal charges, and significant federal charges at that. And so, you know, there have been a lot of questions, and sometimes you have people that you know, cannot be satisfied. So no, there was no hate crime charges. But having said that, you know, the person who was charged with the most violations is eligible for up to 120 years in prison. And the person who was charged with the fewest violations is eligible for up to 70 years in prison.
Wow.
And so, you know, and I need people to understand the way the federal system works. There are sentencing guidelines. So I do not expect that these people will get either 120 years or 70 years, because usually when you get there, those are for repeat offenders with a huge history of criminal convictions. But having said that, you know, it also needs to be noted, and I would invite those in the Jackson area whose schedule allows to appear at the Rankin County Circuit Court on August 14th at 9 a.m., where the same gentleman will also enter guilty pleas to state charges that the Attorney General's office has also charged, and they have agreed to enter guilty pleas on August 14th. So, you know, what we did was we were able to bring this particular case to the forefront. And what also does not need to get lost, because it took all day to get this plea in. I went to the federal courthouse at 8 a.m. On yesterday, and I did not leave the federal courthouse until 5. And what also does not need to get lost is that on immediately following the entry of the guilty plea in our case, 3 out of the 6 of them then turned around and pled guilty to another violation in a case I had never heard of that actually had occurred a month before the shooting in our case. 3 out of these same 6 guys pled guilty to beating a man who happened to be white on the side of Interstate 20, and pled guilty to that, and then are eligible for more federal time in that particular case. Mm-hmm. And believe you me, the Department of Justice continues to investigate not just these gentlemen, but also multiple law enforcement agencies across the state of Mississippi. So, you know, we are happy, and I try not to take too much credit and too much pride in what, you know, my role in this has been, because obviously, you know, the roles of Michael Jenkins and Eddie Parker have been greater. And I do not need to leave out my co-counsel, who's a resident of the Washington, D.C. area, my brother Malik Shabazz, who has done yeoman's work in this area and who actually got me involved. And, you know, I want to give full credit in that particular regard. But, you know, we were able to accomplish some things. We were able to bring a spotlight on what everybody knew to be the case.
Yep.
In terms of police violence, and what everybody knew to be the case, in particular with regard to Rankin County, and all of us who number one, are natives to the Jackson area, know that reputation. And those of us who are actually native to Rankin County have lived that reputation in one way or another. Mm. You know, because if we start recounting, then we know, you know, those of us who are from Rankin County, know people who have been victim, and we've had to attend funerals within our lifetime of victims of the Rankin County Sheriff's Department, and also in some instances of some other local law enforcement agencies. And I don't want any of that to be lost. And we're going to continue to try to bring justice. And it's not just about a lawsuit, but it's also about making change.
That's right. You're on mute, Michelle.
Can I ask you a question, Trent? So since the DOJ got
Absolutely.
involved, do they come in and would they be under like a probation? You know, when they say these are the things you got to do, are they making them implement?
That is what is called a consent decree.
Yeah.
The DOJ, including Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark, who I did speak to personally, she called me on my cell phone. So don't ask me how she got my cell number. I don't know.
Wow. That's crazy. So they are going to have a consent. They will have one.
Well, to answer your question specifically, they would not say out loud, but it is very clear that investigations continue into multiple police departments or multiple law enforcement agencies in the state of Mississippi. And so it will not surprise me if Rankin County is made subject to a consent decree, which in Hinds County, at least the jail has been subject to a consent decree for probably about the last 10 years. So if you know the history of the Rankin County Jail, I would expect that something similar is likely to occur. But I cannot, certainly can't speak for the Department of Justice.
Okay.
But it would not surprise me to have that happen in the future. That specific question was asked at the press conference yesterday, and the answer was, in so many words, it's too early for us to talk about that.
Got it. Okay. Wow.
Yo, PD, you got anything? Man, all I can say is just great job, man.
Yeah, man.
The outcome, and keep up the great work. Is the sheriff being held accountable as well, or just the officers directly involved in the case? It's a great question, my brother C. Lee.
At this particular point, I, as well as others, are continuing to ask that the sheriff resign. Because to use an analogy that was given to me yesterday, in particular by Darren LaMarca, who is the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Mississippi. If this were a sports analogy, what you have here is an organization which has demonstrated that it lost institutional control.
Yep.
And whenever you have a loss of institutional control, then what usually follows is the head of that particular team, be it football or basketball or whatever, the head of that particular team, that head rolls also. And I would ask in this case, and Brian Bailey put out a press conference, which was ridiculous. If you all want to look that press conference up and what he had to say about, these young men lying to his face when they asked him, if they lied to you, you wanted to be lied to. And I'll say that live and in public for anybody who wants to go back and look at that.
So he had no idea.
I was born that night, but not last night.
That's what James said. He was crying on TV as if he didn't know what the department was really doing.
Okay, and this ain't FAMU, but we know what crocodile tears look like.
Wow.
So
no, he was the head.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. If in any organization, any of you all with military experience would know this, and I ask people, I'm not military, but I'm familiar enough with military people. In any organization, if something happens and it goes way left, do you think that the head of the organization is not awakened out of his sleep within 15 minutes? And, you know, there is no way that he wakes up the next morning and goes to work and they say, guess what happened last night?
Yeah.
When he got to work, the wheels were already in motion. You know, one of our clients, the one who did not get shot, Eddie Parker, they literally pulled him out of the house and said, this is the story that we are going with. And if you go along with this story, then we will guarantee that you get out of jail. And after everything that happened, and after taking him to jail and taking Michael Jenkins to the hospital where he remained in intensive care and had several surgeries, Eddie Parker was released on his own recognizance, never had to pay a dime to get out of jail. He left the jail walking when the sun came up. So yeah, I would say, if you look at the details, and if you all go to my Twitter page, I actually posted the bill of information because these guys pled guilty without ever having been indicted. So, you know, that needs to be noted. Again, when I got up yesterday morning and I went to the federal courthouse, I went there under the presumption that there was going to be an arraignment through which they would all plead not guilty and be given a trial schedule. What I did not know when I went there was that they had agreed to plead guilty. And incidentally, and I don't know how many people on here read our actual lawsuit that was filed, all 6 of them went in there and they pled to all the details that we listed in our lawsuit and admitted that those things were true. And they admitted to things that we never alleged in our lawsuit. You know, for instance, they admitted that there was a group called the Goon Squad. And, you know, that kind of got everybody, it certainly got the media's attention. There was a group called the Goon Squad, which included at least half of them, and that they went there for the purpose of torturing these 2 men, that the Goon Squad actually had patches for their uniforms, and they had challenge coins with their own Goon Squad logo on the front and the Rankin County Sheriff's Department logo on the back. And that the purpose of the Goon Squad is because they were willing to commit acts of excessive force and not report acts of excessive force. So that is in the beginning. They admitted that they planted the drugs that they charged Michael Jenkins. They admitted that they had drugs in one of the officers' vehicles that should have been turned into evidence from another arrest, but retained some of the drugs and used those drugs that had been retained to plant on Michael Jenkins. A second officer admitted in court that he keeps a drop gun in his vehicle so that if there is a shooting, he could then plant that gun so that people could be charged with, basically you would have what they would have had in this particular case, a planted gun to justify the shooting. And in this particular case, they didn't plant that gun. They used a BB gun that they found in the other room, which incidentally was the same BB gun that they used to mount the dildo that they sexually assaulted our clients with.
Yikes.
What?
You know, and I can promise y'all, you know, just one, I sat in court, and when the federal judge, who is, you know, over the age of 80 years old, got to the word dildo, he paused for like a few seconds as if trying to decide whether or not he was going to read the word dildo off of this indictment.
They sodomized him.
To be exact,
Jesus.
They forced the dildo into the mouth of one of my clients. They attempted to force it into the mouth of the other. They slapped them both about the head with the dildo while it was mounted on the end of the BB gun that they later charged him with pulling and justifying the shooting. They then turned one of our clients over to try to insert the dildo and rape him. And they discovered that they had tased him so many times that he defecated on himself.
Yeah, Rochelle,
and that is, they came in, and you must remember there was an officer there who was not a member of the Rankin County Sheriff's Department. He was a member of the Richland Police Department. And he took part in the tasing, they said, and they held a contest of whose taser is the strongest. And they, after an initial round of tasing, they then turned around and started tasing these guys and asking them whose taser is the strongest. Is it the Richland taser or is it the Sheriff's Department taser? That is the strongest. And they repeatedly tased them over and over. And that was, one of a number of allegations that we also made. I said months ago, I had obtained through some of my friends in the media 6 pages of taser records, and they had blacked out 6 pages of taser records. So they tased them multiple times. And they had tased him so much that he actually was not able to hold his bowels. And that was among a number of things that they did to them.
Man, it's a lot that
let that breathe.
Resilience to just, it's a good thing that they even survived, man. You know what I mean?
Actually, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
Because when they shot him in the mouth, rather than saying we need to immediately call 911 and get an ambulance, what they did was they gathered and got their story straight and then set about trying to gather the evidence of things they had done, because there was more than one gunshot that was fired in that house. They started making sure they picked up shell casings and things of that nature. And even that did not save them because they still left evidence behind. But they did all that rather than calling and trying to get him medical attention. And they were charged for the failure to render medical aid also, and pled guilty to failure to render medical aid.
Quick question, and that's a lot.
I got to ask you. Go ahead, I'm Ken.
How much time you think they gonna get for real?
All I can say is it will not be a walk in the park.
Got it.
I am privy to some information that I cannot, say out loud, but I will say don't expect them to see, don't expect any of them to show up at their kids' little league games. I'll say that much.
So, Brother Trent, I need to
yes,
know.
ma'am.
I need a couple of things. I'm not going to ask you the question, but I would hope and pray that you go to counseling, because I'm just listening to this. This is some trauma, and it's no way this is not affecting you, my brother.
I'm going to say, Sister Rochelle, that my normal practice includes a lot of criminal law, includes a lot of murder cases, and I've had to look at a lot of autopsy photos. And I am not going to sit here and say that I'm numb, because it is, as Sister Val just said, some of the most disgusting things. And I would only hope and pray that if I were in that situation, that the Lord would grant me the ability to survive as he did these two gentlemen. But if I'm also being honest, I have seen in my criminal practice a lot of things that I probably should have been gone to counseling for, and I haven't to this point, so I probably won't, at least immediately.
Wow.
I'm gonna talk to you offline, but I hope those two young men is getting counseling too, because
we have made some arrangements because they have spoken to a lot of psychological trauma that they've had to deal with, and we have made arrangements. And the state of Mississippi has also reached out to make sure that the state of Mississippi is trying to blunt the impact of that trauma also. And I do have to give the state of Mississippi, as well as the U.S. Attorney's Office, Department of Justice, credit for their efforts to reach out in that regard.
Hey, Trent.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations again for your efforts, sir.
Thank you.
How qualified were these officers, and why do you think the trend of police brutality is being so damning and fatal right now? I mean, even just listening to what you're saying, you think about the Scorpion team that they had in Memphis. So how qualified were these officers or sheriff?
Okay, I'm going to answer that question in two parts. Part one, out of the 6 of them, 1 had a college degree. That would have been Brett McAlpin, the chief investigator, had a college degree. The other 5 stated in open court that they had a high school diploma, and that was the highest level of education they had.
That's why I asked the question.
So that's part one. Part two, when you talk about qualifications, one of the 6, the person who is credited as being the leader of the goon squad, was Deputy Middleton. Now, Deputy Middleton was formerly employed, and I want to make sure I got it right, but he was either with the Hinds County Sheriff's Department or he was with JPD, one of the two. But in any event, probably about 15 or 16 years back, he was found guilty of manslaughter because he drove his car at a reckless amount of speed and hit another motorist and killed him. Now, anybody that does practice criminal law knows that you should not be eligible for pretrial intervention or for a non-adjudication. In other words, to have your record scrubbed for manslaughter, because manslaughter is considered to be a crime of violence, and crimes of violence are not eligible for expungements or adjudications, or non-adjudications, excuse me. But Ed Peters, who's the former DA, who's been discredited and found to be corrupt, and Bobby DeLauder, who was the hero for trying Byron De La Beckwith and having him, he was prosecuting Byron De La Beckwith and even had a movie made about him, The Ghost of Mississippi, I believe. And he then was elevated to the position of judge. But when he was a prosecutor, Ed Peters was the district attorney. And he had too much influence over Bobby DeLauder. Bobby DeLauder actually became a corrupt judge and was sentenced to prison for his involvement in other cases with Ed Peters. In this particular case, they conspired. Lieutenant Middleton was then allowed to be non-adjudicated and never served a day for his manslaughter for that killing that occurred when he drove his car at high speed and caused a wreck. And because he was non-adjudicated, he was able to leave, like I said, either JPD or Hinds County, and then go over to the Rankin County Sheriff's Department and continue as a law enforcement officer. And it was that allowed him to be the leader of the Goon Squad and to participate in this travesty that I am blessed to represent my clients on, along with Brother Malik Shabazz.
Who did Richmond, the guy from Richmond, he gone too, right? So he's
Yes.
okay.
Yes. And I will say this, that the chief of police of the city of Richland, and we're still looking into some things with regard to the city of Richland, but the chief of police at least named the officer that he was that he was firing, and said that he was being fired because of his involvement in this incident. Well, Brian Bailey, who was the sheriff of Rankin County, fired the other 5 without ever naming who the officers were that he was firing. And when he was asked, refused to say who he was firing. So in my mind, you are continuing a part of the cover-up if you will not even say, I'm firing these 5 people, Brett McAlpin, I'm firing Hunter Elwood, I'm firing Christian Dedman, I'm firing Updike, and I'm firing Middleton because of their involvement. But he chose not to do that, and to then come back and give another press conference where he's streaming these crocodile tears, talking about these people lied to me. And this is what I found most galling. This is why people don't trust the police, is something he said. And it just defies that reasonable expectation that anybody thought that any of these crocodile tears or any statement that he was making was genuine. And I'm on the record as saying, as the Bible would say, he's a lie and the truth ain't in it. And if he was standing in front of me, I'd say it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So, this is the craziest case. And, anybody that in particular practices law, but if you're a citizen, and I have clients, against JPD also, but never heard anything of this magnitude. And I've been a lawyer for 27 years. Have never heard anything of this magnitude, and this that you would literally, you go find a dildo and decide that you're going to assault these men with a dildo, that after you have waterboarded them with various types of liquids, you got to take them to jail. You go make them shower to get naked in front of you and shower and wash off all the liquids you've waterboarded them with. It is insane. Y'all gonna make me lose my voice talking up in here.
Man, you good.
I just Googled it. It's definitely on CNN. I just thought if you Google Rankin County, but even now it says you can just Google Rankin County, then Goon automatically come up. So apparently a lot of people has been Googling this information today for sure.
Well, true.
Absolutely.
It's safe to say you put goons away.
Wow.
Well, hey, let's be clear. These wasn't the whole Goon Squad.
Correct. Oh, it's some more for sure.
Please, let's be clear, because if you go back and read the Bill of Information, the Goon Squad consisted of, and I posted the Bill of Information on my own Twitter earlier today. But if you go back and read the Bill of Information, the Goon Squad consisted of these gentlemen that were named in the Bill of Information, and that's a legal term for they were not indicted. They pled to a Bill of Information. They did not plead to an indictment. But these guys who were named, and there's another phrase that was used, and that is, and others, other members of the Rankin County Sheriff's Department known to the U.S. Attorney.
Yep.
So by all means, do not believe that, okay, well, we got these people, these 6, so therefore we got the whole goon squad. That's not true. You got the people who showed up to that house.
They're like baby kids. They don't die, they multiply.
Thank you. And not only they multiply, again, you got listeners on here, you have viewers on here who are natives of Rankin County other than me. And they will tell you, this ain't not, well, to this extreme is new, but you know, the police violence, the violence by the sheriff department is nothing new. This goes back to before I was born. You know, this is stuff that my parents and my uncles and aunts talk about what their father told them about the way that the sheriff's department operated before I was even born. Yep. So this is nothing new. So if this man is talking about they sat up and lied to me and no wonder people don't trust the police, black people ain't trusted the police and black people ain't trusted the Rankin County Sheriff's Department since the Civil War was over. So please don't sit up here and act like this is brand new. And I mean that literally.
Right.
And I see what Brother C. Lee said. You know, I think previously we talked about Goon Jones and his history. I mean, and literally his nickname was Goon. And it is not lost upon me that the area where this particular crime occurred was on the Rankin and Simpson County line. And after Goon Jones left the, I believe, Highway Patrol, he became the sheriff of Simpson County. And he was legendary for the brutality that he visited upon the people who were in his custody. And it is ironic that he was killed by people who were in his custody. So that tells you about the treatment that he was visiting upon them. Am I correct, Brother C. Lee?
Yeah. Man, yep. He is the original goon of Simpson County. So you are fighting history this very day. Man, well, bro, man, we appreciate that. I do. I didn't want to interrupt. That's a lot, man. Said he was gunned down. Yep, he's the original. Yep, I see that.
You know, and historically speaking, he was one of the instigators of the May of 1970 shooting at Jackson State University. He is in history as one of the instigators of that shooting. And that should not be lost upon us on this forum that concentrates on Jackson State either.
Right. Not at all, man. Goodness gracious alive.
So again, I know we were having a good conversation about the NIL.
No, it was cool. We needed to change gears anyway because it was all just an intro to ideology of the fact that we need to not sit on our hands and do something. There's only so many ways and so many minutes you can use saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. So,
also true.
For real.
So I thank y'all for letting me come on and
no doubt
share. And so I'm going to log off of the StreamYard and log back onto the YouTube and enjoy the rest of the show.
All right. Yeah, we'll be on for another 23 minutes. We will.
All right.
We'll open it up. Toronto and I hold it down. I think Michelle and Zoe.
Appreciate it, Trent.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, brother. Thank y'all.
Hey, no problem at all.
Have a good one.
All right, you too. All right, family. So we'll hang around for another, 23? We got 23 minutes left, man, before we get ready to shut this thing down. It's wide open now, man. Come on up. Y'all we got a scrimmage tomorrow. We got a scrimmage tomorrow. I'm excited about that, man. See where we at, bro. We get to test and kick the tires on the tee. See how we really going. See how it's really going down.
Right.
Interested to see how things are gonna go. It's gonna be an early scrimmage. It's supposed to be hot tomorrow, man. Y'all make sure y'all hydrating and staying cool, man. It's supposed to be a hot one, dog. Talking to Austin, he said they moved the time forward. While we at it, got a couple of preliminaries. Real quick, men's and women's cross country tryouts will be Thursday, August 17th. And let's see, we'll go August 17th, Thursday. And we got 2 weeks after that, men's and women's track and field, all on the school website, man. Actually, you send an email to Go JSU Tigers cross country track and field at Gmail for your packet. Merge on the 19th, Fan Fest coming up on the 20th. And then we got the travel information. Once again, for those that if they wanted to take advantage of this travel info, heading over to Texas State, man. Appreciate that, Brother Steve. Man, I forgot how to take this damn thing down. There we go. I had a little moment, man.
And man, Aqua asked a question about was it closed?
That would be. Is it closed? I think this one's not gonna be open to the public. It's gonna be a typical practice, but I'm pretty sure it'll be enough for them. I'm pretty sure a few folks will get off up in there. 7:30 in the morning, big dog. If you can get on up and get up there, you definitely can get on up there and get us a little something.
Okay.
Brother Earl, appreciate you, man. Yeah, every now and again you gotta switch it up, man. Switch it up, man. That was a monumental thing. We appreciate Brother Trent for coming up. That's history right there. Not only we talking in Rankin County, we talking Pearl and Brandon, Florence, Richland, those towns, but you're also talking about these, as a JSU alum, man, doing big things, making history out here, man. That's powerful. We definitely want to make sure we highlight that anytime we get a chance to do that. We definitely want to do that.
Hey man, let me also say to you guys again, to D Corey C and Tiger Talk 1400 Club, man. The interview with Duke was a good interview, man. Duke, he answered question very honestly. And, yeah. And so I like that because it gives me also a chance to get to know the players and find out what they like and why they chose to come. And it was interesting out for them, man. So that was a very good interview. Looking forward to more of that. So again, that wide receiver room, man, is going to be something serious. Looking forward to it.
Man, that wide receiver room is deep, man. It's all hell yeah, it's deep. But I got something for you though, bro. Since you love them damn interviews, and I appreciate you for getting on us about it. But I'm gonna give you a list of names that's coming down the pipe. We still got. You're talking Cameron James, Solomon Rogers, Sebastian St. Louis, Quay Davis, Isaac Peppers, Sir Riley, Joe Perkins, John Trey Brown, Jackson King, Jaheim Hazel, Stanley Cooks, Jamon McNeil, Jaden Bossy, Fabian McCray, Josh Clark, Tavares Easley Jones, Jacoby Morgan, George McClorley, Chris Gonzalez, Lester Miller, Ashton Taylor, and Mike Williams. That's our lineup of all the players that we're looking to interview over the next 3 weeks. We're 3 weeks away from our first live show where you're going to see all of us on the scene. We're going to be on one big screen. I don't know how we're going to do that because we ain't got but a handful of microphones. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have to be online. I can just say, hey, because y'all be talking football.
No, we'll have you come up. We're going to break it down into segments. You coming all the way out there, you're going to be on camera, Jack. Yeah, we're going to be.
Are y'all gonna have on y'all? Don't. I'm gonna laugh. Y'all have on y'all bowling shirt.
The who?
You remember Rob Jason?
Oh no, that was just for media day.
I know. I'm just tickled because that was so funny.
Man, that's Friday night. Hey man, look, come however you come, man. We get done. Folk trying to step out, so I ain't trying to show up in there no any kind of way. I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be clean, man.
Okay, that's it. I was gonna call you offline and ask that question.
We gotta be. I'm gonna be on brand, which is JSU merch. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be ready to roll with it.
JSU got some sexy merch.
Every time I put merch on, you know what I'm saying? It ain't the merch, is who putting it on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Them shirts.
Huh?
Okay. Can y'all go live from scrimmage in the pre and post segment?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I'm just looking at questions.
No, we can't go live from the scrimmage for one. I'm not in town at all. And I'm actually chilling for now, man. I won't be moving around until it's go time. I'm taking a break. This is my quiet before the storm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because y'all gonna be after it. Because after that, y'all
non-stop, man. Non-stop. No, I did not, Miracle. No, I didn't. Some players, we just got a list of players that we'll be trying to get as many of them in as we possibly can. We got a couple shows over there as well that we're looking to do. So, Ken, you got to have the situation cam for. We got a second camera that we running. I just ordered a dummy battery. I needed one of them joints. Yeah.
So Ken, I'm not sure how many players are in camp right now, but I know coming through football back in the day, they had cut days and stuff like that. Are we looking to do anything like that, or we'll be able to retain everyone that's there?
Oh, whoever's there is there.
Okay.
Now that don't mean everybody's gonna travel. We got quite a few players now. I know once we get ready to start putting together our travel, who gonna fly to Miami and who gonna fly to Atlanta. I mean, they will Mellon Entertainment. They're getting those installed. So once they are up and running, I'm pretty sure they will definitely take advantage of the evening times. But they'll probably do that on the needs. On as needed basis, but they looking to get out.
Is it down in Mississippi?
No, it's gonna be about 1:10 tomorrow. That's why they, I was told they moved the time up slightly so they could adjust. But yeah,
1:10. It wasn't that hot when I was there. Good Lord, TD. Listen.
Well, I'm saying it's gonna feel like 1:10. I think it's gonna be hot tomorrow. Like that's what I was told.
But if it's 1:10, like you said, they're on turf, so that's gonna be like.
Man, it could be hot, man.
That's what somebody smart guy went degrees. He went degrees.
Let me give you a.
I think we got some rain supposed to be coming in the area at some point too. Hopefully.
Yeah, Smart got degrees, boo, with the humidity and everything else.
Let me go to the whatchamacallit and see.
Listen, I'm doing a 3-day fast, TD, trying to all that wrong food I ate while I was in Mississippi. So I'm doing this.
Food.
The first day is rough. Boy, my stomach over here speaking in tongues. It's just going off. I wish y'all could.
I'm gonna be speaking in tongues.
Wow.
I wish y'all could hear this stomach. My stomach going.
No, it's gonna be 101, but it's gonna feel like it's 110 because of the heat.
Okay.
The heat index of 110.
Wow.
Hey,
on top of that turf, that's 115.
Hey Ken, what K5 on your list? Did you record off of Tiger Talk? Was the interview?
We were talking about players that are new.
Okay, new player. Someone asked, had you ever have Tiger Talk? You ever done an interview with K5? I think.
Yeah. Hey, Cena. I think I said your name right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta be listening. What I'm finna do so I can stop my stomach from growling is go the whole bed. Again, the first I'm doing a 3-day. It's called reset. It's it's for your gut, and so like they give. It's really neat. They give like this is day one. So everything is in the day, but they got you these different little drinks. But when I tell you like right now, I'm lightheaded, so I know I'm gonna go to bed.
Man, I can't wait to get in the bed tonight. I got about 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes left, man. But we're gonna ride it out. I did want to just have
y'all get my message in a private chat. Just curious.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did get that. Terry Blackburn, Hall of Fame tomorrow. TD.
Okay.
Yeah, it says I think K5 one of those players only streams for tight. Yeah. He. I think we'll get K5 back on. We had K5 on when we were doing audio, and we gotta just get him back up. We can interview. We're gonna try to get as many as we can. Because once the season starts, then we're gonna pause on interviews.
Right.
So we kind of real skeptical on interviews anyway, because it's just like we do what we do. We get them in there when they.
Hey Ken, I didn't see it anywhere. Maybe it was posted somewhere, but who was that? Who was that corner with that nice pick?
Oh, that was Frankie Dunn.
Is he a freshman?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I've been liking these short clips.
I saw that when that happened, man.
Oh, okay. You was there?
Yeah, that was that was a good play on the defensive side. The defensive line got some pressure on the quarterback, and I think Phillip was in there, and he got the ball out. Cornerback broke on the ball, took it for 6.
You know who I don't see is the guy that came, the older guy. Is it the offensive coordinator coach? Like I've seen Coach Beef. I think the defensive coordinator was talking. He was talking about the defensive line. But what's the older guy that he's a great mentor? And I think he's the offensive line coach, the new guy. What's his name?
I'm not sure you would say older. You might be referring to the offensive coordinator. Are you referring to Coach?
Well, they on the football page for sure.
Right.
No, I'm just saying like the videos I've seen, because maybe they just popping up, but I'm like, I just saw the one with the defensive coach.
You watched the interview?
Not all of it.
Well, no. They separate. If you watch you gotta watch if you watch the full interview on the football page, he's on there.
Okay.
You talking about
yeah, that's the one. I followed him. I think it was a documentary somewhere on that guy. I was like, he looked amazing. As far as his love for his mentorship, and like they were showing because when they was talking about him, I actually Googled him, and man, he just had his love for the young men and teaching them how to be men was just it was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a great coach. I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna do well. He's gonna have that offense ready, man. We 3 weeks away from some football, man.
Are you ready for some football? Listen,
man, we ready, man. We ready. 3 weeks out, man, and we'll be
21 days. That ain't a long time.
Man, listen. I agree. It's not a long time.
No, the way this time. So, okay, you said it's the third week in that they're gonna do the weight room. Is that the third weekend?
Yeah. We're looking at right before we take off to Atlanta. So it'll be that week.
Okay. So we just got so much exciting stuff going on.
Yep. Yeah, that's gonna be cool, man. I'm excited for the big reveal. I can't wait to see the final finished product, man. I think it's gonna be huge, man. It's gonna get them haters something to be the root for South Carolina State about. You know what I mean?
You know, I'm really hoping though the thing outside that what you guys were talking about tonight would just be so amazing for the HBCUs. Man, picking his teeth. You look like my uncle when you did that, Ken.
No, I don't. You know,
Wow.
I'm sorry. I ain't had no toothpick. I was looking for something.
Somebody asked, "Where is Coach Weeks?"
Mr. Ross, wait.
Coach Weeks, I don't know where he at.
Okay. You trying to lose 50 pounds for Atlanta? Okay. Well, look, I'm finna go because I've drank 1.5 gallons of water.
That's a lot of water.
But you know what, Ken? You know what? I didn't drink a lot of water at home. It's like my body has been craving water since I got back.
Yes, there will be a New Jersey reveal. It'll be better than what Southern did. They looked a hot mess. I said it. I just, TD, you know that looked bad, bro. I was.
So would that be the same thing? You could would you?
Yeah, them jerseys was hit. Their uniform was hideous, man. Come on, bro. They had a couple of combos that was okay, but man, come on, dog. Baby shower on their field. God, I know them folks' armpits and neck and elbows was sweating. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I understand, you know, like school pride. You gotta be like, but some of y'all lying. Y'all know daggum well y'all don't like them uniforms, man. Them things were hideous, man.
I mean, what more can they do? I mean, that's their
They
color.
could do a lot better than what they did. That's just my opinion. They always got something to say about us.
Kimberly said she got you. Glad you said it, Ken.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Some of them combos, I was like, bro, y'all look like, no, man. Man, their uniform looked like it was separate. It was different teams out there. They were just swapping tops and bottoms.
I'm with Diamond. Where is it on Twitter? Because I was saying this, I didn't see it.
I saw it on somebody's Facebook page. I'm not in any of them groups, and I just so happened to look at it. I was like, oh wow, this is.
All right, bro. So we're gonna. I'm gonna go ahead and drop. See,
Seeley said another. I wasn't even looking for it, bro. I was on somebody's page, not even on the page, just on your timeline. It might have been my girl from the G, trolling them folk, man. Telling me they had a picnic out there, but no, I ain't trying to get in them little spaces like that and get the beefing. But I just. Some of the combinations look decent, but Southern. If I was Southern, I'd get a black uni, especially with the colors they got. It'll pop.
Well, I'm going. Which come says on their IG page. Well, listen, y'all
I said Valley had the best combo unit at the media day. That's subjective. I don't know about that one.
I see.
Valley stuff look nice. I see you later, shit. Valley had some nice stuff, man, but I ain't gonna say that they had the best combo. I do like the fact that Valley doing what they do, you know, trying to get they got their media presence up. They look like they're gonna be a formidable foe.
Well, I mean, I don't think I'll say about that, man. If I drop, I don't care what they wear, long we whoop 'em. I don't care what team it is.
I swear.
I don't care.
Hey, Jason, whatever you want to make, big dog. Yeah, I appreciate this. This my guy who be lacing us with the music, man. He gave me a new track. I put that thing to use. You saw I put them videos out there. Did you see?
Yeah.
I took a little bit of what you put in the Dropbox, man. I ain't even looked at the other one. I'd still take whatever I can get from it and do some stuff with it. But when he sent me that track, I was like, I know what I need to do with it. I put that together quick too.
Man, it's some stuff. It's some stuff out there. It's some stuff on there, man. So it's good. But you know, you always do a good job, man. I'm gonna see can I make that in the morning? So
7:30, they'll be rolling, dog.
Okay, all right.
And I'll be 7:30 for you, gonna be 5:30 for me. So I'll see.
Okay, all right. Well, you have a good night, bro. Talk to you later.
All right, big dog.
Tiger Nation.
Peace out, everybody. DI love. Go Tigers, baby.